how's everybody doing? Check. Yeah, that's me coming through the mic. Hello, hello, hello. Probably offending people by not updating my Patreon again. I'm not sure if I have new patrons. If I do and you're not in the list, I do apologize. I'm gonna have to get my ass in gear and get on that. I do update it. Well, I updated it before the last stream, so it should be fairly up to date. But anyways, it's not all about the Patreons, it's about the fans. And how's everybody doing tonight? I see a lot of you are waiting around, which I'd love to see. Thank you very much for hanging out. And 45 in here right now, that's crazy. Mordick, how you doing? Brown, I see you, buddy. I've been seeing you. Janie, buddy, how you doing? Craven Mordick, how's that? How's your life without Nathan Thompson in it? Are you getting by, buddy? Are you making it? 204 with an X in the 0. I see you, buddy. I know him. He's actually from around here. Mark Beiser, Vishanti, I have invited. And she is going to set up her laptop and join us at some point here. So, yeah, there's that. Where I'm pumping my music through. There's always got to be some sort of audio bug. Rad Vlad is going to join us, and I wanted to isolate him to his own channel. Now, unfortunately, with Vishanti joining us as well, that would be impossible anyways, because I would be silencing Vishanti. I think I'm pronouncing that right. She's probably going to give me a tongue lashing, but anyways, we'll keep going forward like I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, on that, oh, why is my plane 9 not dancing away? Oh, that's better. There we go. It got hidden, I guess, in the background. You gotta keep it. You gotta make sure it doesn't like get minimized, otherwise things don't animate. So my beautiful planet's running in the background again. All right, so that's enough Brainy Beaver Tech Hour. What are we talking about today? Well, as the thumbnail would indicate, D-Marbs is being kind of dumb again. Only because it became obvious as I listened to him that he doesn't know jack shit about the geography of China or Hong Kong situation, perhaps, or even what was going on in Hong Kong, because he says a lot of things that are kind of DR. I imagine that's Vishanti. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that name. I don't know. Either way, that's sorry. Is that you, Vishanti? Hey, I imagine Rad Vlad will say Rad Vlad. He's coming too, maybe. He asked me for the link, so as far as I can tell, he has an intention of showing up. So that'll be. Yeah, I'll turn off this music for now. Turn it aggressively down. Turn that on so you can hear it, because you wouldn't have been able to hear the music. See? Oh, it ended. Never mind. You can't hear shit. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know if you saw my thumbnail, Vishanti. What do you think? Not of like, I'm not trying to ask for compliments on the thumbnail. I just mean of the topic at hand. I mean, the thumbnail was very nice, though. I loved it. I thought it was a good thumbnail. Total shite. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. But did you see D Marble's videos at all? I don't know how in tune you stay with some of the flat earthers. Yeah, that's fair. No, don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that I have to give them the views and, like, you know, I'm giving them premium, YouTube premium money, you know, to watch, because I had to get premium a long time ago, because I started figuring out that I was spending, not only was I watching stupid videos for hours of my day sometimes, but I was also watching hours of ads to go along with the stupid videos. So it just became it actually became like a bit of a time sink, where I was kind of sick of having to press skip like 50 million times in an afternoon. So I just said, you know what, it's going to be worth it for me, because it'll become a business expense essentially. Like, I mean, you still got to pay for it, but I'm going to put it to Brainy Beaver Productions. So, yeah. Yeah, well, that's what you do, right? You got to... Screaming Beaver, that's actually hilarious. That actually might not even be allowed in some places, you know? I'd be banned in Australia for sure. You're not allowed to play I Touch Myself there. I think everybody should be banned in China. Nobody go to China. It's falling apart. No, it's... I vaguely remember that. There's so many South Park episodes, though, right? I mean, it's like The Simpsons at this point. They've done everything. They made fun of everything. Fact Nerd buddy, I see you there. Hey, did Punchy talk to you about the Flat Earth review? What is it? The Flat Earth live review that I've been planning? That's a secret, everybody. You're not allowed to know more than that. We've got. Have you heard anything about it? I mean, if you were around, I'd invite you too. There's talk. I came up with the idea. Punchy and I got to sit down one day. We got to write. I'm silent. Oh, can they not hear you? That's my big mistake. Thank you, everybody. Well, isn't it a lovely one-sided conversation you've heard? But there's Vashanti now. Vashanti, say hi to everybody. Jesus Christ.
Hi to everybody.
Woo, there she is. I bet you can hear her now. Here, hold on. Say something. I'm going to make sure you hear.
Something.
Yeah, you're on the OBS.
Oh, good job.
You guys
It's okay. You just get to listen to Brainy talk to himself like a crazy person.
Hey, Brainy Beaver Tech Hour. It's got to be, you know? You in Meets with the Beaver? She's definitely in Meets with the Beaver. What? No, I was just actually. You know what, Radical? I've been suffering from schizophrenia lately, and I was hearing voices the whole time I was talking to myself. Actually, I took a lesson from
I'm
the Flat
the voice in your head.
Well, yeah, I saw that zombie pic. It was pretty epic. Did you get to talk to Maggie?
I don't think you want that.
Did you get to talk to her? I'm not one of those people. It's like
a little, but I mean, we did a little, but it was mostly just while we were trying to work.
Like, look this direction,
so
God damn it! You're supposed to be a zombie.
It was mostly her like coordinating how she was gonna chop my head in half.
How she was gonna break you in pieces. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
just make sure you stand here. I don't want to hit you in the face, actually.
Yeah, she's really good about that. They've been doing it for so long. They're really good at knowing how to maintain their distance, or, you know, quote unquote, stab you in such a way that they don't actually stab you. So,
well, you wouldn't want that. That's how Crow went down. Well, not stabbing, but shit went haywire. Yeah. Let's just put it that way.
God, is it terrible that I haven't watched that show in about 3 years?
Was it a show or was it the movie? It was when they were filming the movie. So, when that happened. I think they were making the movie for the show or something like that. The Crow, the movie.
Oh, right.
And he was shot on set because so there's conflicting things. I'd have to look it up to find out what the real story was at this point, because there's so many different stories. But he was shot. So the two, I'm sure you've heard them. The two different leading stories that I can remember is that one is that the gun was taken home by somebody, or that they had used live rounds in it, and somehow the live round was not emptied from the gun, and they thought it was all blanks, and it wasn't. But another one I've heard is that there was actually
definitely somebody dropping the ball on that one.
Well, however, I've also heard, and I can't remember which one's true, that there was plastic lodged in the barrel, or something lodged in the barrel, and when they shot the blank, because a blank, for anybody who doesn't know what a blank is a bullet that is missing the projectile. That is it. So if you then have a projectile in there that could replace it, it doesn't matter if it's plastic or not, it'll kill you. So, like, you know, if it's going fast enough and it hits you, it goes in. My dad was a police officer for 30 years. They had some people come by and camping. This is pertinent. And they asked if they could just camp on the grass, you know, right beside the police station, because, you know, it's safe and everything. They said, yeah, sure, go set up out there. Well, a freaking tornado came through, which we don't get a lot of tornadoes in Canada, but a tornado was coming right into town that night. And at some point, the way my dad tells it, it was literally like, they were like, oh shit, the campers. And they literally went out there and like grabbed them out of their tents and pulled them into the police station. And there was a Tempo gas station that was next door. It's a Husky these days. It literally, when the sign exploded into a million pieces of plastic, it turned it into shrapnel like bullets. And it threw it through the, it put it through the tent. He said the tent was like a bunch of gangsters went and machine gunned it. Like, it was just like, shredded it.
The chat is saying, Bob Jenkins was saying that they used two types of blanks, and plastic was in the one that killed Brandon.
So yeah, like one type of blank. Oh, okay. So one was
basically shrapnel. It doesn't matter if it's in a blank.
Yeah.
Or
So
if it
one was
barrel,
more,
you know.
So it sounds like one was more designed to be shot at a person than another, because it was a little bit safer even than the previous one or something. So, because you're saying when it says plastic was in one, it sounds like one type of blank had actual plastic in it as some sort of mock projectile, I guess. And if you're at point blank, I mean, it's gonna have speed out of the end of the barrel. That's what happens. So
yeah, I mean, it pretty much wouldn't matter what you get shot with. If you're point blank, it's going to do damage. So
yeah. Well, they had to pull pieces of plastic out of the side of the cop cruisers that day. They had to go. They said they were wedged into the door, like again, you know, they didn't go through like a bullet would, but they were literally planted right into the metal of the door. So I mean, anything can be a projectile if it's moving fast enough, right? And that's all that matters. When they loaded the blanks, they didn't know the projectile was still in the barrel. The blank was able to propel. Yeah, so it was that there was a stuck piece of shrapnel essentially in the barrel, and when they loaded the new blank, it fired the shrapnel. It dislodged it and fired it. I missed. Oh, we're talking about the Crow Mark Bizer, which is, you know, it's a while back now. It's not new. Let's talk about Kobe, because the big mysterious, you know, Kobe getting killed. Oh
my God.
Russian Vid's already dropped a video.
It's mysterious.
Truth in media, everybody.
Oh my God.
Did you not see the cartoon? Because he was what was it?
Yeah, he took less than 12 hours to get out.
Oh shit, there was people that dropped it. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm thinking about it now, so this has to be shown to people. Did you see Nathan Thompson post about Tosh.0 on his channel? And by the way, also Nathan Thompson was harassing hobos at their place of eating. Just like he premiered that.
Absolutely
like
none of this is shocking to me whatsoever.
Oh my God, go bug those poor people while they're eating. You know what it is? They're easy targets. They're down and out. A lot of them probably are opening up a Bible at night trying to find some direction in their lives. And he goes in there and starts talking to those people. Like, it's the same reason he targets children. He just looks for low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Because
he's a predator.
You know, he knows everybody else can tell him to fuck off, like those other people in the grocery stores that we've been seeing, where he's like, oh, what do you mean? You think you live on a spinning ball? It's like the guy was breathing in your face and telling you F off, Nathan. I mean, you just leave. Just, like, you'll look better if you just walk away now.
Well, he has no sense of boundaries either, so you can tell him no and he's going to ignore you, so...
But the biggest piece of crystal in the goddamn community, he's made of freaking fine china, and then he's the biggest bitch about other people telling him to F off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's trying to provoke a reaction so that he can be the victim. That's pretty much all there is to it.
But like him posting, what was the recent one? He posted, well, even in the one I put in my video where he's dealing with other religious people that have told him, like, no thanks. And, you know, meanwhile, he's gone in there. They've literally invited him. They invited him in and said, if you're welcome to sit down if you want, all that kind of stuff. And he turns it into this. I'm trying to get this page to not like jump into the other page while I'm tabbing it out here because it keeps trying to line up with another window.
Well, you gotta be a special kind of stupid to get kicked off church property. Just saying. Well,
this is the thing. Like, well, you're looking in windows, you know, like, well, we're not. Here you go. And, you know, at first the guy says, oh, you know, we're Christians because he thinks they're like Mormons or who knows, right? Or whatever. And he's like, because he didn't even look at it, right? And he's like, and all of a sudden he's like, no, I'm Christian too. And that's when the guy glances down and he's like, you know, and then he starts talking flat earth. And you know what's funny is that flat earth, you know, I'll give them one thing. Flat earth has become well known enough now that he saw that it was a flat earth thing and went, oh, fuck. Like,
yep.
Like
these guys.
Yeah, these guys. That's what happened. He went, oh, get the hell out of here. And even the guy that came along, like, if you watch that whole thing, it's long. Like, it's a 15 minutes of them accosting in front of him accosting. And, like, that's why by the end of it, he's like, get out of here. Like, he's just fed up. Like, just why haven't you left yet? And then that guy that walks away, that cool, calm guy that comes in after he's pissed these other people right the F off. And he comes in, of course, you know what? That's exactly what the situation needed. Needed a third party to come in and just walk up and be like, come on, why don't you talk to me, buddy? And then Nathan gets to walk away and be like, man, I just don't understand why those guys don't want to hear my bullshit. And, you know, the guy, you can see
literally the incarnate version of, like, when you're a little kid and you're holding your hand, like, right in your sibling's face. Like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. He's that as a person.
Yeah, if you go and say Brainy Beaver says hi in any sort of like his streams or tweet at him or I don't know if he tweets, but if you do that in any of his comments, you'll get an insta ban. He didn't take too kindly to my Geo running away from home when he jumped out of the window of the car.
You should do a special on the video of him crying in his truck.
I actually found that video. No, it was the best thing. Okay, I feel bad for anybody who's, breakups suck, right? We've all been there, it blows. But it was the way he I feel like I'm losing my best friend. He was so sad. And I'm like, and then the story he tells, man, my girlfriend was drinking blood because she thought it was biblical. I'm like, this is why you need to stop pitching this shit.
This is why you're single, Nathan, and this is why you're going to be single.
We're gonna get to D Marbles idiocy, but now we gotta look at Nathan for just a minute because why not, right? So, here's the cartoon.
Good cannon fodder.
Here's the cartoon predicting his death. I'll turn off the music. Let's kill this music here. Whenever I can find it. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this, Vishanti. Good times, eh? Let me just make sure it's all coming through on the right spots here so everybody can hear it. Rad Vlad may or may not come by, you know how he is.
It'll probably take him a while to figure out how to get all the settings squared away.
So this way everybody will be able to hear it, and I can do the drop-down TV. Boom! You can see it now too, right? It's coming through on Meets, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so oh yeah,
wow.
but so don't get me wrong,
Oh shit! It's Kobe Bryant.
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
Pass.
These were Shaq anyway.
Wow.
Anyways, so that's apparently the big that big oh my God, truth in media, they predicted Kobe Bryant's death. Well, but the thing is, Kobe Bryant was riding around in a helicopter. It was very different.
Yeah, but they all run around in helicopters a lot.
Well, but this is the thing, and it was for a reason. I've actually seen an interview. It's really quite sad. The reason he got a helicopter wasn't just because I'm Kobe Bryant, I'm super rich. It was actually because he was raising a bunch of girls with his wife, and he wanted to be there to pick them up from school and take them to things and stuff like that, but he also wanted to continue to practice and train and do what he does. So he started looking into helicopters, and he said that way it took him, instead of spending 2 hours in commute, he 15 minutes he's there, he trains, he gets done, 15 minutes he's back. And he said his wife would be don't worry, I can pick up the kids. He said no baby, I want to do that because you do all that all the time, you get road trips and stuff. He said I don't get that chance. So I mean, it's really quite sad. The reason he had a helicopter and he used it for everything was because of just how much time he could save using his helicopter. I don't live in LA.
I know, because I do. I live in Orange County, but I'm in LA. Oh, well, then you have
a better idea than I do. I was about to say, I've never been to LA. Yeah. I plan to go one day. I'd love to go and visit. But I have heard the hell stories of the traffic in LA. And if anybody who's never lived in LA wonders why Elon Musk wants to build a goddamn tunnel from his house to his where he works, that is why. What?
That's a mood. That is a mood. If I could take a helicopter to get through LA traffic, I would have a completely different career track than I do now.
Well, but not even that. You'd have a different.
Anybody that's ever been here or lived here,
I've heard
they know there's two sets of numbers that everyone hates: 405 and the 101. Both of them are nightmares all the time. There are no exceptions.
You can be in cities too that aren't as big as LA. They're just really shittily designed. Like the city out near me, Winnipeg. It's one of the oldest cities in Canada, and they literally built the roads right on the fucking donkey paths between the buildings. So like the city is not set up like a modern city. It's not a perfect the area once roads and cars became a thing, it turns into a grid. But the center of the city is actually literally in all fucked up directions, because it was literally if a fucking donkey walked that way and packed down the path, that was a road. And so they're in every goddamn direction. And so you take a city like that, and it's also an old city with old buildings where they film movies and stuff. Like a lot of movies that pretend they're in old New York are actually filmed in Winnipeg and stuff like that, because we have some of the oldest buildings in one centralized area from that era. They're all historically, they registered them all as historical, so they're not allowed to blow them over and fix things. They have to fix them properly and all that stuff, but it makes it so it's a very old downtown. Well, they don't just push buildings over and build new roads. So I'm going to tell you, I lived in Calgary where they build their cities. You know, they're not afraid of pushing a building over. If it gets 30 years old, they say, fuck, it's old, push it over, build a road here. We need a highway. And they're not afraid of doing that. And so there you get on a freeway. I remember when I lived there, my GPS, my dad gave me one of those like window mount GPSs because it was before smartphones. And I remember it said like to my front door where I was living it was like something like 55 kilometers, which is maybe 30 miles through the city, like right corner to corner though. Imagine going corner to corner on any city, you know, right across. You got to go right to literally the other fucking side of it. And so it took me in that city, it took me 30 minutes to get home. Literally, like I was on the highway the whole time, freeway to freeway to freeway. And yeah, even when it got thick, it was still moving. But then I moved to this city. Shit, I was 7 kilometers from my front door, and it took me a fucking hour and a half one day. Because if there's a river that cuts through the middle of this, well, there was in Calgary too, but they had freeways. But here, because it's all donkey paths over the goddamn river in weird places and stuff, if you don't know the city, like if you know the city, like now when I'm in there, it's like I take a left down this alley, that takes me a right onto this street. From there, I can turn left here, right there, left here, right there. You know, like I know which way I'm leaving, and I can get out of there like nothing. But if you don't know the city, you just get stuck in gridlock at rush hour, and it literally to the point where you're ready to like shake the fucking wheel right off.
Yeah, that was one of the things about like, LA's traffic is crazy, but at least the freeways for the most part are built to handle the volume. Like we have lanes on lanes on lanes and carpool lanes and stuff. But when I used to live in Birmingham, it was of a bunch of volume and barely any road. And they're just now getting to the point where they blew up an old section of freeway so they could build more lanes. And I'm like, wow, you guys are really behind the curve there.
Well, and even
15 years.
We've got sections where there's military bases, for instance, and it's like a long set of 2 lanes and 2 lanes, you know, each way going down this section. And there's this massive boulevard on each side and a center boulevard, like wide center boulevard. And it's like, okay, this is the most congested part in the entire city. And it's like, why don't you just expand it? It's like, well, the military owns all these houses. It's like, that's like government. Like, why can't the government work with its own government? You know what I mean? Because that's federal government and this is municipal government. And so, you know, even though they're all government and this city badly needs a wider road there, that's all owned by the fucking military. And I'm like, okay, but you look at the length of their front lawns. I'm like, okay, but we're paying taxes to mow these lawns and shit, and we could take half this boulevard away and still have those houses. And because they've got these big, beautiful frontages on them, they're just like military houses. And so they're not even nice houses, but I'm just like, blow that shit over and build a road bigger. But of course, in this part of the world, you know, if we were in China, that shit would have been done. But over here, you know, everybody's got to fight for, you know, all of a sudden somebody steps up and says, I own a little piece right there. Oh, fuck, back to square one.
Yeah. The chat is talking about, they were mentioning Kobe having a lack of a safety feature on his helicopter, like a terrain awareness system. And
apparently that's not necessarily, apparently they don't have radar, I've been told.
The issue that I was immediately aware of is that for the past few days prior to that, it had just been extremely foggy and overcast. So visibility.
Well, they had requested a switch. Crap. I was watching the NTSB or whatever, the National Traffic Safety Transportation Safety Board thing, the thing they had, and they were saying that they had requested, the pilot had requested like visual. I don't know. It's like something where they want to. I think he'd encountered fog, and he was asking for a visual something or other where he flies visually or something, and I think they have to get quite low to do it, or I don't know what the deal is, but they made them hold for 12 minutes. And so they said that obviously part of the investigation is going to be looking into whether or not, you know, somebody who's requesting that kind of clearance, whether or not making them hold for 12 whole minutes is in the best interest of everybody involved. Because of course, if that's if that's deemed to be something that could have prevented this accident, then they're gonna probably change the rules and make it so they're not allowed to hold them for 12 minutes. Because I mean, really, when you're dealing with fog closing in and stuff like that, that shit happens quick.
Yeah, and I've learned from my pilot friends, you always trust your instruments. You do not trust your eyeballs because of like clouds
But apparently helicopters don't carry radar.
Totally
and
throws
stuff.
off your orientation and shit or whatever. But yeah, it's.
But apparently
it's
they
wild.
don't hold radar or something. It was like helicopters. I just watched this earlier, and it was like helicopters don't have like a certain type of instrument that senses proximity to ground or something. They fly by view or something,
Yeah,
which I thought is really absurd.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Eric,
It's a little mind blowing, but anyway, yeah.
yeah. Well, let's move on to So you know what? This guy is a freaking. Oh, here you can see. This guy right here is definitely a fearmonger, and we're gonna listen to him in a minute too. So, but like this guy is one of these people like it's gonna get so bad, I'll stab a guy if they cough on me. It's like calm down, calm down.
I couldn't have gathered that from his. I'm assuming that's Pizzagate logo. So
probably.
Yeah,
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, it's but what it is, it's Illuminati plus pizza. See, like it's got the triangle.
Oh yeah,
all-seeing eye. So it's the all-seeing eye plus a Pizzagate. That's a good call, by the way. I never noticed the Pizzagate, and he actually has the Freemason pin on.
Oh yeah, pin? not shocking there, and that anonymous, I guess, QAnon reference probably.
Yeah, that's just the craziest shit ever. These people. Anyways, so we'll get to him. Good mythical more. You know. Hey, let's start with this one. This is fun. Let's start with this. D Marble is grossed out. Skip that song. I don't know how copyrighted his shit is.
News, where I like to point out some of the ridiculous and kind of disgusting things that these people have to believe in if they're going to continue to hang on to the heliocentric model. I got something for you today. Let's get into this article from Science Alert. This is from 30 January 2018. Scientists are figuring out how to get astronauts to eat their own poop.
My headphones are set.
Let's get into it.
You guys tell me how the volume is. If it's too loud, too low, Vishanti, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Taking food up to space is costly, and growing food in orbit is difficult and time-consuming, which is why scientists are looking at the possibility of converting astronaut poop back into something edible. The thought may make you want to reach for the sick bag.
He makes me laugh the way he shakes his head every time he reads something, and then he shakes his head in disapproval of it. Because he does it in every video. Like, watch. He finishes a sentence and then he shakes his head.
Taking food up to space is costly, and growing food in orbit is difficult and time-consuming, which is why scientists are looking at the possibility of converting astronaut poop back into something edible.
It's the double blink and shake.
Even he is like, why the hell am I talking about this?
Well, this is a viable, like, look at the ads he's getting, by the way. By the way, do you see that? Because that's like Google directed advertising right there, boy. Look, we'll zoom in on that a little bit. If you owe less than $314,000 on your home and haven't missed a mortgage payment in 6 months, use Congress mortgage stimulus program for the middle class.
Seems legitimate to me.
Jesus, that's such a weird ad.
Oh, you just got a super chat sticker.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, 204. I know him. Thanks. $3. Thanks, buddy. Let me get this thing smalled out again.
It's a little. Is that an avocado?
Yeah, no, he's a pear. There it is.
Oh, well.
We couldn't all hear the screaming beaver before. I'm glad he's back. Did you hear that, Vishanti?
Yeah, it's a pear, but it's green, and I'm gonna say it's an avocado because I'm in California now, and everything's an avocado.
Were you able to hear the screaming beaver just now, though?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Music to my ears.
I'm wondering where it comes through. Interesting. Because I don't have. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll figure that out. That's tech hour shit. My red hat is better. Thoughts? You can come in here too if you want to. Just send me a message, bud. Anyways, okay. So moving forward, this is fun.
The thought may make you want to reach for the sick bag, but such a scheme could mean the difference between exploring the universe or being stuck on Earth. We need to solve the problem of food on long-term space flights one way or another. Now a team from Pennsylvania State University has come up with a way of using microbes to break down solid and liquid human waste very quickly, while minimizing the chance of any pathogens developing.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. They don't have to. He's going to shake his head. Hold on.
The substance that's left could be used as space food. It's a little strange, but the concept would be a little like Marmite or Vegemite, where you're
that's so gross. Anyways,
wow.
All the Australians just lick their lips, though. It's disgusting, you people.
I just feel like they're gonna riot now. They're gonna be like, "Yo, you're comparing Marmite and Vegemite to shit.
Hey Vlad, I sent
Get out
you.
of here."
Oh, he did send me a message. Let's see. He sent. Oh wait. If I must, then so I shall. Oh, that's Jay. Jay sent me a message.
Is he really going for mom jokes right now? Because seriously,
I have a. Maybe that's just a friend's request or something like that. But anyways, hey Rad, I sent you a meat thing. If you're, he's in the chat here. Surf $2 sticker.
yeah,
Thank you very much, sir.
He's talking about your mom.
Talking about my mama? I don't. He's really?
Yep.
That's why your mom loves me. What's funny about me, Rad Vlad, is you're not gonna get on my nerves like that. Trust me. It's in fact, if anything, I'll start making mama jokes about my mama with you, because that's just kind of how I am. You're not gonna tear me down by saying something about my mama. You talking about my mama, motherfucker?
I'm not worried, because if somebody tries to insult my mom, you're gonna have a chancla flying at your head. So just be prepared.
I hit my counter so hard I actually hit a mouse button somehow with like telekinetic energy. I was so angry.
You're an X-Man.
That's right. Fight the flat Earth thing with his eyes was fun, wasn't it? He's like, "Oh God, turn it off!"
I told him he was Cyclops. He was literally texting me for like 20 minutes, and we were just role-playing this X-Men scenario where he's like, "How do I turn it off?" And I'm like, "Get the ruby glasses," and he's like, "I can't see." It was fun.
Yeah, he's saying, I guess Rad Vlad's, oh, so maybe he wasn't talking about my mama. He was talking about somebody's mama. Somebody called me a dick for no reason. Well, I mean, Vlad, you're kind of a dick, right? I mean, let's face it. We've really got, I'm a bit of a dick too. It's okay. People got to look in the mirror sometimes and just say, you're a dick, bud. Like, so, like, some people are dicks. I can be a dick, That's why on Twitter I'm so popular with the flat earthers, because I'm a bit of a dick. Like, I don't really have time. I don't really. He's
asking how to get on. I don't think he's quite got the hang of the.
Well, he's just got to. You got to trick. So. Well, he's got to do the same thing he did with Fight the Flat Earth. You just got to press that link. You literally just got to click it, and it'll open Chrome for you. So, how do I?
You think I could make money using like starting a tech support for Flurfs? Is that lucrative?
Flurf support?
Yeah, because they seem to be kind of not super familiar with modern technology.
Something I gotta beep all of a sudden. Okay, no. Anyways, hey, Vlad, you have Google Chrome, so you should be able to just click the meets link, and it'll send me an invite request. Then we're good. You can also talk to me in Discord too, because then I can, like, just go to your Discord. You're not logged into Discord. I can see you're not on Discord, so just go to your Discord and you'll see I have sent you a link. Unless you've tried clicking on it.
Like, Chrome? Never.
Man, I was one of the people that resisted Chrome for a long time. I just used Internet Explorer. I was like, whatever, I'm happy, it works. But then one day I started running into web pages that wouldn't open for Internet Explorer. And all of a sudden I booted up Chrome and it worked perfectly. And I was like, that was the last day I used Internet Explorer. Because I was like, well, you can't even open web pages.
I'll use Firefox for some things, Chrome for a lot of things, and I also use DuckDuckGo because it doesn't track you. It's a really good privacy browser, so you gotta keep your stable full of.
What are you
resources.
Doing that you care? I mean that legitimately. What are you doing that you care that they know what you're up to? I mean, really.
That is for the NASA Black Site Area 69 Council to know, and for all of you to find out this weekend.
Because I'm definitely one of those.
We are launching soon.
Oh, okay. I am one of those. Is this a channel thing? I see.
Yeah. Well, we Chrismer and Cypher and Philosopher, Davros, Arduin. There's a group of us that are getting a little group together, and we'll be launching our channel this weekend. So if any of you see NASA Black Site Area 69, you should follow us.
I've got a badge somewhere. I'm a member. I'm an honorary member.
You do. You're one of our moderators as well. I think in our Discord.
Probably. Well, that's nice of you. Chrome has become quite a resource hog. Yeah, Chrome can suck my balls. I agree with that. I literally have problems. I had to turn off, it's been better, but I had to turn off that option where it says to leave Chrome extensions running in the background, because you could like turn off Chrome and you'd still have like 15 Chrome tabs in your task manager.
God.
Like,
I swear I have never seen a bigger RAM hog than Google Chrome.
you say the word RAM and hog together, you get me really excited, Vishanti. I'm sorry. I just fucking see? That's funny, right?
Hey. Well, you are a screaming beaver.
That's right.
Hey. Giggity goo.
Smear of microbial goo,
Giggity.
explains one of the researchers, geoscientist Christopher Howe.
Surf, oh, okay, there. I thought that was the sticker I'd already gotten. Surf, thank you very much, buddy. Surf has said, probably something to do with eggplant. That's what we were talking about just now. That's actually like premonition is what that was. I hadn't even read that yet. Then I started talking about eggplant. You did this to us, Surf.
Mark Beiser just made me laugh, I swear. He says, remember to smash the Aussie thumbs up button.
Hit the thumb down. It's upside down.
Official poop.
I can't rotate. I can't rotate my shit on. Actually, that's not true. What I can do is they don't let you rotate it on. You can't rotate your shit on here, but what you can do is you can flip it like this, like. See, I can like flip myself up. Like, I gotta drag myself down. I really don't want to change everything, so I'm just gonna do that again and just put myself back. But you can like flip the item upside down by like literally dragging it the opposite direction. But what it won't let you do in OBS is rotate. I can't rotate myself upside down, which is stupid.
Well, that's good to know for when I get my OBS fired back up.
Let's get to his head shake. He's in here.
Oh, I bet.
Wait, is he playing? No.
He's
He's shaking his head at himself for talking about all this crap.
22 meters or 4 feet long. That.
I mean, really, it's not really an entertaining subject. Other than that, I mean, let's face it. He goes through this and he talks about how stupid it is. Like, oh, and then he puts this. This is funny. I guess it's off the NASA really sent a machine to the International Space Station that converts urine into drinking water. I guess this is off funnyordie.com, which is it's
First water we've got out of the machine.
Oh shit, loud.
This will allow astronauts to recycle their urine and sweat into beautiful, clean, clear drinking water. First sample, transparency, subpar. Oh, that's just piss. That's just straight up piss. Smell, urine, and
Urine.
Damn it! Oh, that's piss. I don't know why I have to drink it. It's piss. It's yellow.
I mean,
Oh, the urine.
that is funny, but in pee drinking defense, where the hell it is, Good Mythical More has literally done this more recently with way less technology.
Bear Grylls has just entered the chat.
What did? What happened?
Bear Grylls has just entered the chat.
There you go.
I'm making a joke, Brainy. It's a
Is
podcast
Vlad in there
reference.
saying anything, or is he talking to me? Vlad, what are you doing, buddy?
I haven't seen him in a
there he is.
minute.
He's
He's
on his
probably
phone.
still trying to figure it out.
Well, he's got the link right here.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Send the link to his email. Bruh, come on.
Well, he said send the link. I can send his link to his email, but I mean, yeah, whatever. But I mean, the link, you're literally sitting in your Discord with the link right there. You should just be able to click on it. It opens up Google Chrome. Because apparently he used Google Chrome for getting in with Fight, so I don't know why it wouldn't work for him. But give me a second, buddy. We'll get you a linky poo. And then if you can't get in, you'll have to figure out how to flurf another day. Of course, we gotta sort this out before he can come in and debate me. I haven't even posted that for that reason.
Yeah, that's good to figure out in advance.
Well, I had a feeling that this might be the way things go down, but here, Rad, I got your email. Just 1 second, I'm sending it right now. Sorry to everybody in the thing here. We're trying to see if we can get Rad in here. You never know. That might be fun, eh?
Gotta
Rad
love tech
Vlad.
support issues.
There you go. Sent off to you, Rad Vlad. But anyways, on the subject of pee drinking. Ooh, Bella Charge. Thank you very much, Bella Charge. Sup, bitches, finally made it. Oh, look at that. Bella wanted me to stay streaming until he got home from this. So there he is.
Aw.
Mythical Morning.
Mythical Beast, your questions are like a man that has survived alone in the...
Does anybody ever watch Good Mythical Morning? Do you ever watch it, Vishanti?
Negative, but I'm digging this beard.
It's a good show.
wild for weeks with no food or water. And then all of a sudden, the
What the fuck?
answer bear shows up. That's us. And you think he's going to eat you.
And we asked you to ask us questions about...
What the fuck is it? Oh, it's at the beginning.
Today I'm going to drink his pee.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, there it is. So they actually use these devices right here, which I would not recommend this, but they drink their own pee. So they're not drinking each other's pee.
Okay. All right.
But they drink pee. And they drink it through these
Then the
straws.
real question is it going to be yellow?
Live your
when it
best
comes
life?
through? Because if...
Sorry? Are you sorry? I didn't hear what you said.
Live your best life, I guess.
Yeah, but like watch.
It's still
Yeah.
yellow when it comes out,
Right?
I'm not going to be excited about it.
So let's spit it into here and gauge the yellowness. Okay. What? What do you mean,
It's urine, man.
It's urine.
The body said no to this. You know what I mean? The body said no.
My body did.
The toilet said yes.
All right, let's go.
I'm just gonna start dry heaving in a minute.
It's still yellow.
It's so dramatic.
Oh my god!
Gosh! I hate us. I hate that we thought that this is a...
What is wrong with these people?
This is one of the funniest shows on the internet if you haven't seen it. It's Good Mythical Morning. They've been going for years.
What is
They've got
wrong with them?
16 million subscribers.
cute idea.
And
Not cute at all.
watch them drink piss.
All right, here we go. We're going
What?
to swallow this urine. Oh, gosh. It helps not to think
Like a
about
song.
So I don't want to get, I don't want to use too much of it because obviously, you know, fair use only has its limits. But they do drink it. Not really like drink, but it's in their mouth.
But
It's bad enough.
all right, listen. All right, so eject the rest in here and let's forget this ever happened.
It's so gross. The idea is this thing's not supposed to be used to drink your own urine, but they say in the things that you could basically drink urine. So they decided, ding dong! Oh my goodness, the
They
fire
were
has
so
started.
busy thinking about whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Vladdy Poo, buddy! How you doing? Hold on, we gotta get you on the TV here.
Only has its limits, but they do drink it.
Oh, hold on, you gotta... I can hear... Are you on speaker with us?
Hey, what's up, Holmes?
Yeah, but are you playing us on speaker right now? Because I can hear myself coming back. Well, you got...
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold on.
that's all.
Fix it.
Yeah, that's all. Other than that, we're good to go.
Vlad, I see your, is that a LA Dodgers hat?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't
How'd
even
it sound?
listening. Oh, hey. Are you in LA?
I'm in all the way, baby.
Wait, seriously, are you in Los Angeles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? I'm in Orange County, right?
Oh, wow. We're like neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a
Yeah.
nice place to
What
live.
are you like? Are you in the Valley? Are you in Pasadena? Are you in kind of like
West LA.
where you at?
West LA.
LA, okay.
Speaker right now because I can hear myself.
Well, yeah, we can still hear ourselves a little bit. Why? I'm just curious why that is. Are you not getting it into your headset, or is it what's happening there?
I'm hearing you in my headset, but yeah, it's like there's a double thing going on, man.
But you got to turn off.
you
You got to
also
turn off the
listening to
stream. Yeah, you got to go mute the stream. Just you can leave it running, but just hit
okay.
mute.
Okay.
Wait, seriously, are you in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Really? I'm in Orange County, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just because then
Hey, there
you
you
can
go.
hear us here. You don't. Yeah, you can hear us here. You don't need to hear us on the stream. So.
Hey, is that better?
Yeah, for sure. Because we can hear you and not the stream. Because we were getting ourselves like 15 seconds ago, right? So it's really distracting. You would have found the same problem. So.
No, it's way better. I hear it was bugging me too. This is way better.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
What's up, guys? Looking good over there.
So
Who's all there? I see 3 people. Where's the young lady from Orange County?
Well, she's
Can I
not.
see her?
She's not on camera, anyways. It's not creepy.
No.
I don't know. I don't think she's on camera right now. So, But
that guy Red Rhetoric was saying he's so funny looking he wouldn't appear on the camera.
none of us have seen him. That's the rumor. The rumor is that he was actually what was inside the Ark in the Lost Raiders of the Ark. And that's why they all turned to
Red's rhetoric is the reason that they have the legend of the Gorgon and Perseus, so you'll turn to stone.
He's a very mysterious guy.
Yeah, he is.
You gotta keep that air a mystery.
Okay, so let me just duplicate. Trying to just get.
Vlad, the chat is asking West LA like Compton.
Yeah, you know it. We Compton. We're in Compton. You want to come over? You guys want to come over?
You've never been to Compton.
You scared? The people are scared about.
Okay, Vashanti, before we get started, I actually really badly have to pee, so you guys chat for 1 second. I'll be right back. Have fun. I'll be right back.
I know white people are afraid of black. Not me.
1 second.
Well, no, my family lived in Compton for a little while in the 70s.
What street?
So.
Yeah, really? Okay. What are you guys doing there?
Shit, I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom.
Oh, we know.
Well, I mean, it was a military family, so they've lived all over the place, and they were briefly in Compton. It was in the 70s, though. This is before a lot of the gangs started. So
you remember the 70s?
No comment.
I'm 71. 1971.
You have
70s.
1971?
My mom sent me to school in bell bottoms.
Cool.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Hey, man, bell bottoms come back every, 15 to 20 years, so just hang on to them.
So this is obviously just kind of... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Hey, Brainy Beaver, where's your guests, man?
Well, what do you mean guests? Oh, those aren't guests. Those are on TV. They're just on TV.
But didn't you have some guy scheduled to debate you regarding conspiracies or something? I saw.
No, that wasn't a debate.
No, he's just going through a video.
I'm just going through some videos. No, I'm just going.
A guy from Compton.
Well, he's from wherever his fifth wheel's parked. Because he's D-Marble. So it's wherever his fucking fifth wheel is that week, I think. So, like, just to be truthful about it, I'm not even criticizing him. It's just the reality. So.
But what's the purpose of the show tonight, Beaver?
Well, what I was talking about, I invited you for a different conversation. We were talking about we were going to talk about coronavirus. You and I were talking about space tourism today. So I thought if you wanted to come on and we could just live talk back and forth and just, this isn't really a debate so much as an impromptu, you and I were chatting back and forth about space tourism today. You generally don't believe in any of it. And, I was trying to explain to you the reasons why, you can't just get a flight to space yet, but soon,
Soon.
So. But everything's going to happen eventually.
There was an article. I actually read a news article today that was saying that there's
soon.
The House in Congress are trying to pass a bill that would have pushed this back even 4 more years to 2024. Hopefully that doesn't pass, because I kind of want to see people go to space now.
Well, because the thing that you're not, before you go, Vlad, the thing that you're not, just to get into this a little bit, the thing that you're not taking into account is that, I get the argument, I've heard the argument, and I understand what you're saying about where you say, that people went to the moon X many years ago, and of course, why can we not go back and all that kind of stuff. But the only the only thing I would say to that though is that they, for instance, I posed you a question on your comments there. I said, Vlad, how much rope memory does your computer or your phone use right now? Because all of that memory they sent to the moon was woven together by a bunch of women in these rooms where they actually hand wove this rope memory, because that was all they had at the time. Well, we don't build memory like that. So, in order for them to, they can't just reuse that, Vlad. You can't just take technology from 50 years ago and plug it into a computer. I mean, it doesn't fit in the USB port. I just don't know where we're going to plug it in. So the reality is that, they have to remake the technology. It's not that we don't know how to make a oxygen dispensing system, or we don't know how to seal something against 1 atmosphere of pressure, or the lack of. It's more about the fact that, it just doesn't exist anymore. So you have to remake it. And back then they were racing the Russians. So when they launched in the Apollo, they were given odds. And in some cases, I think Apollo 11 with the first landing on the moon was 80%. Well, that's 4 out of 5. So they're saying, yeah, you're likely to come home, but there's a 20% chance you're going to die up there. And, you know, I don't know about you, but when I go to space, I prefer to have better odds than 80%. Like if you told me like, hey, you can go to the Dominican, you can fly to the Dominican Republic today, but there's a 20% chance your plane is going to crash in the ocean and you're going to die, I might not fly on that plane. I might decide to stay home, you know, because it's not great. Yeah, I think I'll stay here because 1 in 5 is not good odds. Like that's actually pretty bad.
It's not like a commercial flight, you know, where you can just get on a Delta flight that goes, there's hundreds of Delta flights a day.
Well,
there's one space
and when they crash,
and it doesn't just practice regularly, so you're sitting on all this rocket fuel, and you could be vaporized or blown to bits, you know, because some tiny little thing went wrong. Like,
well, and for instance, the one, like I said to Vlad, like Apollo 11, they landed on the moon. Apollo 12, they landed on the moon. But Apollo 13, very famous movie, and I get that's a movie, but of course they made a movie out of something dramatic like that. So the thing is, Apollo 13 didn't land on the moon because they had an oxygen tank explode or something to that effect,
almost
they almost became a permanent relic in space floating out there because that's how hard space travel is. And so the thing is, they only went so many times, and then once they bounced around on the moon, they looked around, Vlad, and let's face it, they looked around and went, there's nothing to fucking do up here. We're wasting all this money and we have nothing. We're collecting moon rocks. So there was just no point in continuing to go. And Congress was, you know, people were like, you know, like you saying, hey, you're taking all this money out of my taxes and you're going and jumping around, hopping around on the moon. Well, what are we doing with it? So instead, money has gone into other directions. You know, you look at things like the space shuttle. The space shuttle cost $1 billion per launch, which in the end, that wasn't its original purpose. It was supposed to save them money, and it ended up becoming this huge resource hog.
Of the things that they were reporting on actually is that we have to depend on like the Russian programs to get our astronauts into space, and that they have more than quadrupled the price for us to send one of our astronauts into their system. So not only are we like, let's do some more science, but they're trying to save millions and millions of dollars.
Well, because just to finish that off, Russia, because when they got rid of the space shuttle, Vlad, because of course the space shuttle was costing like literally $1 billion a launch, and so they very quickly on a calculator went, well, this is bullshit because we can send all of these astronauts to space with the Russians, and even though they charge us, you know, like $70 or $80 million a seat because they can, and there's no other way to get to the space station right now, that's still cheaper than running the space shuttle program. So the reason they use the Russians right now is because it's cheaper. So eventually, the whole idea of the testing and where they're at right now is they're testing the escape systems to make sure, because that they have certification processes to go through to put people on it, because they don't just let you jump on a plane or a boat or anything without it being certified. And it's no different with a rocket that goes to space. They want to make sure that, you know, you're not going to become the newest vapor in the atmosphere. So yeah. So anyway, we've kind of
tested it, and it's probably fine. Yeah, you're all right.
Well, we've kind of gone for a while now. So I mean, I'd like to hear what Vlad has to say. I mean, that's the only thing, Vlad. So I mean, I'm just gonna say, like, I'll leave it with you on this note, and you can talk for a bit here. But all I'm kind of getting at is that, you know, it's easy just to say, well, it hasn't happened. It's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon. But I mean, we've only just got to the point in the last. I mean, okay, Vlad. Let's put it this way: smartphone. How long have smartphones even existed? I'm 34 years old, and I'm gonna tell you right now. 10 years ago, I didn't.
You look older.
City miles, I guess. What do you do? But
wow.
I'm gonna tell you right now that again, you're not gonna offend me, Vlad. I'm fine. I'm gonna tell you right now, these smartphones.
No, that's why I mess with you, man.
These touchscreen phones, they've only existed for Vlad. We've only had these for 7 or 8 years. Like that's it. That's it. Like all this technology in our fingertips and shit.
10 years ago.
Well, what it has to do with Vlad is okay. So Vlad, before we had okay. So do you know how the systems worked on the Apollo? A lot of things were mechanical. Shit, they literally had strings inside the damn lander that they like released to like pop out the little things out of the side that popped out their packs and all that kind of stuff because they used. Like, you're not going to build a craft like that now because I agree with you. It was a fucking tin can. They're lucky they got home. I mean, but again, it was a race. It was a race against the Russians, and because again, they thought.
Beaver, let me say something before I forget.
Yep. Go ahead.
You've been yapping for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's what it's about, buddy. But get in there. Thanks, Bella. I'll read that in a minute, Bella.
Yeah, you got to jump in there, Vlad. You got to commit.
Yeah, you got to just get in there. Just dive in, bud. Go.
I try to develop a new style where I'm not jumping in because then nobody hears anything. So I'm trying to.
But right now we're kind of having. Right now we're not having a formal debate so much as just an impromptu back and forth. So give her.
My new approach is to not jump in and just be patient and quiet and let people talk. But man, fuck, you go forever.
Oh shit, that's the wrong window. Well, we were both talking, but by all means, Vlad, jump in there.
It doesn't work with you. I have to cut in. I have to cut in with you.
Yeah, jump in. I'm just gonna switch this window here.
Okay. And let me say, what's the young lady's name? Because she sounds familiar. I think I met her. I think we spoke before. What's your name?
You have, Vlad.
Yeah, I know the voice. You're
Flashback.
Alabama. You're Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Formerly.
Okay. This is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Beaver? What you said in the beginning of your speech is that didn't make any sense at all because you're saying that they lost the technology or they can't, they didn't save it, or it's like, you're talking about something about
Vlad, I can't get a RAM chip from a fucking computer that's 10 years old. How the fuck do you expect me to get memory that's 60 years old?
But see, what you're saying is like, oh, we used to play music on tapes and record albums and CDs, but we don't do it like that, so we can't have music anymore.
Well, but
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, but Vlad, I don't. Okay, but Vlad, how many tape? Do you use a tape player, Vlad? Vlad, do you have a tape player in your house?
An 8-track.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay, let him finish. Let him finish then. That's fine. Let him finish.
So, by your logic, we possibly couldn't have music anymore because we don't have that old technology. Well, that doesn't make sense because we get better. Technology is getting better and better and better.
Which is what it's doing right now when they're building new craft, because soon they're going to be going up.
How's it better when nobody can get up there anymore? And now I'm going to say this: you're saying, oh, there's no reason to go to the moon.
But Russia's sending people right now. People are still going.
Yeah, in Russia, and then maybe in Russia they're saying, oh, America's sending people right now. We don't know. I'm not there.
Oh, come on.
Let me tell you this. No, come on.
They have media in Russia. You can watch Russian media if you want.
Nobody's going.
I'm telling you, you can piggyback out of Russia and watch their media tonight if you want. Just get a mirror.
The free market proves space travel is fake. I googled 3 different companies who
and I found the phone number you couldn't find in 2 minutes. That you couldn't find it. You said you couldn't find it. I found it in 2 minutes. I posted to you. Oh God, let's do this. I love it. Oh my God, that's what I asked you to do.
I'm gonna go get a snack.
Listen, Beaver. You might have a number, but let me tell you what it said in the 3 articles. Listen, Alabama, hear this. This is a good one. All 3 of those, I didn't Google all 100 of them. I didn't have time to do this stuff all day. The 3 that I Googled, each one had takeoff days that they failed on, that they promised and they failed. One was like 2016, we're going to get a regular guy.
What do you mean? They canceled a launch yesterday. They were going to launch this morning. They pushed it to today or tomorrow.
That doesn't matter. I'm saying that for a guy like you or me to book a flight on Blue Origin or Virgin,
but they're not doing flights for you and me yet. Yeah, because it's not there. Vlad, that's like you going to a coffee shop and asking for pizza because they don't have pizza there. So they're not offering flights to anybody because they are not certified.
So 60 years ago, I could buy a record. I could listen to music on a record, but now we can't do. There's no more music anymore because
but could you? Okay, but
no sense.
Yeah, but Vlad, Blu-ray players, DVD players existed in like the late '80s, but nobody owned them because they were like thousands of dollars. It's no different. When air travel first started, only the super rich could afford to fly on planes because planes were expensive. It was new technology. But then when they started building bigger aircraft that could fit more people, the price per person started dropping. Plus, mass production kicked in. They started producing more planes. There was competition. Right now, there's no competition. When you're the only pony launching people to space, you can charge whatever you want.
Nobody can do it, B.
You can do it. It's just that you and I can't do it.
Maybe nobody could do it in 1972 or maybe 1975.
Vlad, we couldn't go.
1985, maybe 1995.
Now who's running their mouth though?
Maybe 2015, 2020. You still can't do it. It's like people are dying already, man.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Vlad. I got a question for you.
You're naive. How can you be so naive?
Vlad, I'm just gonna mute you if you're not gonna shut the fuck up. Like, because you're doing what you accused me of doing. So stop for a second so I can answer you.
Let me just finish that. I don't care if you mute me, man. I'll leave right now. I don't care, man.
You can leave. You can leave if you want, Vlad. But you're not. You're doing exactly what you said you weren't going to do. You're just fucking railroading. So why don't you let me answer you when you say something?
I'm gonna say one more thing. If they could do it 60 years ago. There's no excuse they can't do it now.
Okay, Vlad. So I got a question for you. How many people have been to the deepest part of the ocean? Because it's actually less than have gone to space. Now, I got a question. Can you build a submarine that can take you to the bottom of Marianas Trench? And can you do it for less than, it probably cost you as much as a fucking spaceship. So the question I have for Vlad is, just because you can't, you told me you believe it's there because you can dip your toes in the ocean, but that's bullshit, because you can't build a submarine that can go to the bottom of Marianas Trench because you A, don't have enough money, and B, you don't have the know-how, and C, you're just not gonna fucking do it. So that question is stupid, because now you're claiming that the bottom of the ocean doesn't exist. Well, guess what? People have gone there, but they can't go there every day because not everybody has a fucking submarine that could go down to like however many atmospheres are down there. You know, James Cameron did it, but he's a billionaire. He used a bunch of his money to go down to one of the deepest places in the ocean. And he's one of the only human beings to ever do it. So here you are talking about why we can't go to space, but meanwhile, we have spots on this planet we can't even get to, and you're bitching about us going to space. And I'm going to tell you one thing, Vlad. In space, it's 0 atmospheres. Everybody talks about how it's so much vacuum.
No, the moon is in our atmosphere. The moon is in Earth's atmosphere.
What they meant.
I correct you.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's you taking something out of context and not really understanding, Vlad, because that's why she's laughing.
No, it is.
Well, Vlad, they're talking about.
Tell her it is. It is. The moon is in Earth's atmosphere.
I agree. Oh no, I agree. I saw the report, but Vlad, but she's laughing. But Vlad, she's laughing at you because
that's true. Alabama. That's
Vlad. If you shut up for a second, I'll tell you.
That's the world we live in now. That's the reality we live in now.
But
the moon
Vlad,
is in Earth's atmosphere.
That's fantastic, Vlad. But do you realize what they were trying to say, or are you just going to keep saying that and thinking you're right? She's laughing at you, Vlad. So why don't you let me tell you?
There's no atmosphere in space, but I'm telling you, the atmosphere goes past the moon. So get your story straight.
Does it go to? Does it go to? Okay, Vlad. The atmosphere is a gradient as you go up, right? So like as you go higher, right? That's a fact, right? We can go to the top of the mountain and there's less pressure, right?
Okay, so the moon's in the Earth's atmosphere, but if satellites
No, Vashanti,
balloons, we haven't sent one to the moon yet.
No, Vashanti, he's right. No. Hey, Vlad, stop. Vlad, stop. Vashanti, he's right. He's citing something. Just let me tell him. Okay, so Vlad,
Vashanti's going to come to our side.
No,
stuff is ridiculous.
Vashanti hasn't read this one news article is the thing probably. So I know what you're talking about, Vlad. So Vlad, do you agree that there is a gradient in our atmosphere, that when you're on the top of the mountain, there's less atmosphere than right here where we're both sitting typically? You're near the ocean, so you're at sea level almost.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. Answer the fucking question. Don't you dare try to fucking move or I will literally boot you, because you're going to fucking answer this question. Now, is there a pressure gradient on Earth? Is there a fucking pressure gradient on Earth? No, you're gonna answer it now, not after you fucking surmise something. You're gonna do it now. Vlad, no, I'm taking it down a you answering road. So answer the question. Stop diverting Russian vids.
We all know the answer to that. Yes,
which is what? Then I want to hear you say it. Then yes, there is a gradient as you go up, right?
Yes. So what?
Okay. Yeah, well, okay. So Brad. So if I've got 10 psi. And then the next is 9, and then 8, and then 7, and then 6, and then 5, and then 4, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then 0.0.0.0. It keeps getting smaller and smaller. So all they're saying when they said that the Earth is technically in, or the moon is technically in Earth's atmosphere, is they're saying that there is some detectable molecules of air, oxygen, hydrogens. There is some detectable. I'm fucking it up now because I'm annoyed. But there is some detectable molecules whizzing by, but they're not saying they're not saying that it's in the atmosphere. What they're saying is that there are, like, it's technically on the outer edge of where our atmosphere does extend to. But I'm telling you, they're not saying that you could take off your helmet and breathe out there. What they're saying is it's like while you're up there, it's like, oh look, there goes a fucking oxygen molecule. Like, and you obviously can't see it. I'm being facetious, but the bottom line is that they're not saying that you could take your helmet off and breathe, or that we can use devices up there. That. But then you're getting into semantics, and you're trying to use something.
My only point is that your guy's story keeps changing. If I said the moon was in Earth's atmosphere a year ago, Alabama laughing, you'd have been laughing too, because everyone was laughing like a fool. But
probably.
What I said is true.
Do you want me to
but now it's true.
explain to you actually what I was laughing about?
Well,
because I'll be more than glad to tell you.
Well, even if it weren't laughing at that, Alabama a year ago, everyone would have laughed.
Well, let her tell you what she was laughing about. Let her tell you.
I do agree that there are particles of hydrogen and oxygen that dissipate far enough out to the moon. That's fine. Whatever if you want to technically call that the atmosphere. Okay, cool.
It wasn't me.
I'm laughing because you said that the moon is within the Earth's atmosphere, implying that it's within a dome or whatever container. And yet, many flat earthers want to say that satellites are weather balloons, and yet they haven't sent a weather balloon to the moon.
Satellites drop with weather balloons attached to them.
Yeah, but those aren't the same kind of satellites. You can
satellite weather balloon hybrid thingies going to the moon if it's so close.
Vlad, I got a question for you.
Okay.
It's not that close, Alabama.
Okay, I got a question for you, Vlad. Have you ever used a I've got a question. Have you ever aimed a Sorry, go ahead.
What?
I mean,
have you ever aimed a satellite dish?
But yeah, you can't get that high. All right.
Have you ever aimed a satellite dish, Vlad? Like a satellite dish, like a receiver for satellite TV. Have you ever aimed one? Or you probably get cable, right?
I've seen them.
Okay, so
aimed. They bounce off the firmament. Okay.
Okay, they bounce off the firmament. Okay, but I got a question for you. Okay, so no. Let me ask. Okay, so hold on. I got a question for you. So now, do you know of any?
That's why you hear thunder.
Okay.
It bounce off the firmament.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, do you know of any balloons in anywhere that can stay in the same spot for like 10, 15, 20 years without moving ever?
What?
Well, you're saying that satellites. Well, you're saying okay. So you said satellites are balloons, and I've heard that a million times. So I got a question for you. When you aim a satellite, it stays in the same spot. So when I was up in the Arctic, where I'm going to tell you right now, there's no wires that go up there. They generate their power at a diesel station. The fuel comes in once a year by tanker in the summer because it's ice in the winter. They've got no cables to society, and you get your internet and your TV by a dish that's sitting at the end of the railing on the balcony, pointed up into the sky. Now, that's fine if it bounces off the firmament. I'll give you that. Let's pretend it's bouncing off the firmament and it's going to a balloon. Yeah. Do you know of a single hot air balloon or any form of blimp or balloon that can remain stationary in the same spot because I'll never have to move that dish again? Right. Like for 20 years, that dish will sit there and point at the same direction in the sky. Now, are you aware of any sort of structure that we could elevate on some sort of balloon that would never move? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you bump that...
How many times are you going to talk and ask me the same question?
But hold on. Let me finish the last comment. Last point, though, is if you bump that... But hold on. If you bump that... If you bump that and move it 1 degree, it will not pick up that satellite dish.
Misha, I'm listening.
Like I've had the snow. I've had my snow, Alabamian. I've had the snow on my roof.
All right.
Cállate.
Okay.
Now you got 2 against 3 now. What's up? Why you the screen out, Beaver? The girls want to see stuff on TV.
I don't really feel like putting. Okay.
Vlad, there's a question.
Hi,
this is for you.
I don't really feel like putting kids on my channel, man.
Okay, so Vlad,
I got my girls though. Okay, go ahead.
One of the.
No, it's okay. Your girls are very, very beautiful young girls. I just, I don't want kids on my channel.
Okay. So one of the people in the chat says, Rad Vlad, if the moon were in the Earth's atmosphere, as you say, we'd be able to fly there in an aircraft. What do you have to say to that?
Right. It is, look, it is, okay, can we fly in an aircraft? It's out of reach. And I'm not saying it's in our atmosphere. You guys said that. I used to think it was in space far away, just like you guys did. But there's certain things that prove it's close. For example, the shadow of the moon on the Earth during an eclipse is only 70 miles wide. Spare me the umbra penumbra lesson. We went through it. A shadow can never be smaller than the object casting it. So that's one way we know the moon is closer. Now hold on. Let me finish. You guys got me on. Let me finish the question. So now maybe it's out of our reach, or maybe they can get to the moon, but they're not showing it to us. They're showing us a fake film. But they are, I really don't know. But the film I saw was absolutely ridiculous fake. Any moron can look at that video and it's fake. And then so for going there. But why can't we fly a plane to the moon?
Hold up.
But all I know is I've never done it. You've never done it.
Bro, pump the brakes. Hold on. How do you know it's fake?
Hold on.
Because he saw it.
How do you know it's fake?
Alabama, hold on. Alabama.
Hold up.
Beaver asked me
a minute.
how to know there's the bottom of the ocean, how deep it is. I'll tell you this. I can dip my toe in the ocean. That's good enough for me. I know it's real. I can't dip my toe into space. So until I can do that, I deny that it's real. I don't believe the stories about it because there's a lot of proofs coming in that all that stuff is baloney. So
what kind of proof?
I can't go there.
But I mean, you say that, but it's just because but that's an incredulity thing where you just say, I don't believe because I don't want it.
No, well, okay, here's proof. Guys on the ISS are glitching. The actors in the special effects room are glitching.
Did you watch the video, the hour and a half long video that just came out?
Why do you cut me off? Are you afraid to hear my answer? You're afraid to hear what I'm saying?
Your answer is
Well,
it's
we're
all the same crap.
responding to you. It's just that those things are being debunked.
There's guys floating around in harnesses.
You haven't had an original argument in any stream that you've ever been in, ever on the internet.
Why are there
the
guys?
Same repetition.
Let's not chase them off too fast, though.
Floating around. How come there's guys attached to harnesses with cables?
They're not harnesses. We've talked about this.
Well, what is
Rad
it then?
Vlad. Oh my god.
What is it then? What is it then?
What are you talking about? They're not harnesses, bro. We've already seen those videos.
Alabama, there's guys, actors, background actors that float by attached to harnesses.
Okay.
That didn't get.
Vlad, I've
You didn't
seen
see that?
actors on harnesses on a actual movie set, and they do not look like that. And they need an open channel above the set for those wires to attach to, and
Alabama.
that simply does not occur on the ISS. It is an enclosed.
You're embarrassing yourself right now because everyone's seen those videos. They absolutely are there.
Dude, there is a video that just came out within the last week of NASA taking over an hour-long tour of the ISS with no cuts, no edits. It's just a straight video. It's boring as hell,
and even
but it's there.
Red's Rhetoric's videos that everybody says are fake are no cuts, like to landing, watching the landing.
I watched the video with Craig Fight the Flat Earth, where I laughed at guys passing by background with attached to harnesses. We both saw it. And he says something like, "Oh, those are just belts with wires coming up," or something he said.
Wires? You gotta be kidding.
Well, that's what he said. That's what Craig said.
Okay.
I mean,
Whatever you say, man.
I'm not making it up. Alabama, I'm not. I wish I wasn't. I'm not making it up. Alabama, it's there. So
no, I don't think that you're making it up. I think you're just repeating other people's very wrong opinions.
Craig, well then why is there a guy with a harness attached to a wire hanging from the ceiling on the ISS, Alabama? You explain that to me.
Do you also know that they kind of Velcro themselves to the wall when they sleep because there's no gravity in space? Like they're falling sideways fast enough to where they feel like they're floating?
I'm not asking about
that's
the
why they're there.
I'm asking about the wire hanging, passing from one room to another with a harness attached to the wire. Floating like
go ahead and show us those wires and let us know when you have that.
Well, Beaver, how am I going to show you? If Brandy Beaver has the technology,
you just have to hit.
Craig sent me.
Well, I mean, I can. Well, wait, video Craig sent you, or did he play it off YouTube? Like, if you have the link or whatever, you just give me the link, or you can display your screen. There's a button right there.
If I can send it to you, I'll try to send it to you right now. We'll see what we talk.
Did you guys hear that beep just now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it's because somebody messaged me on Facebook.
I'll try to get it. Okay, there's Fight the Flat Earth.
He said, you guys keep cutting Vlad off from answering. I want to hear his rambling. And I said, I can link you a bunch of him debating. He dodges questions. We've been playing with him for months. And I said, that's why everybody chat knows who he is. He says, exactly. Him avoiding your questions is hilarious.
Well, that guy's right. Buddy, they cut me off because they're scared to hear the truthful
No,
answer.
it's shitty when people cut you off repeatedly and don't let you get a word in edgewise, isn't it, Rad Vlad?
But you guys, you count the minutes you guys have talked and the minutes I've talked.
Are you actually going to call?
Beaver could speak without taking a breath for the next 35 straight minutes, and that wouldn't equal a fraction of the amount of railroading you've had in all of your streams.
I mean,
you got to be honest.
I'm pretty terrible. That's the ADHD working hard to ruin my life, but it tries. It does its best.
Hey, but it works great for your YouTube channel.
I mean, apparently, because talking is what you got to do while you're online. Virgin Galactic.
Yeah. Oh,
hey,
let's see.
accident. I was showing him the accident earlier.
Oh, let me see. Let me give it to me. Huh? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm Let me see. Oh, look at this guy. Hey, Beaver, look, I got you right here, man. Let me
What?
see. Hold on.
Is that a ferret?
Like a beaver hat?
Oh, it's a ferret.
Oh, it's a ferret. Oh yeah, ferrets are
It's
cool.
a ferret. That's cute. Yeah. What's his name?
Wait, that's not a ferret. Is that a
Beaver.
ferret? Yeah, it's a ferret. What am I thinking?
Yes.
That's a ferret.
That's a ferret.
He's the flat Earth ferret.
He's the flat Earth ferret. There you have it, everybody. Spaceship Two.
It's a pretty good pet, man. When she got out of the house, we called her and she came back like from the bushes more than once. Like she knows her name. It's crazy.
Hey Vlad,
One time
oh sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
One time she escaped before I chicken wired the balcony. She escaped and ended up. I live in an apartment complex. She ended up far away on the other side of the complex, where the barbecues are. She probably smells the meat over there. Inside somebody's rain gutter. I don't see how she got in, and there was no way to get out. But we were looking for her, and we heard some scratching.
Right.
And then we zero in, and I said, "Man, it's coming from the rain gutter." She was in there, and I managed to separate the pipes, and she came out. But it's amazing. It's an amazing creature.
Can you see my screen there, Vlad? Like what I'm displaying here?
You know what this is?
Oh, that's too big. But yeah. Here, I gotta fix that one. Okay, so let me just drag that to the right size here because it's a little messed up. Okay, so if you can see that, check this out there, Vladdy. Here, Vlad, this is Spaceship 2. Whenever I get your attention back, I don't know.
I'm listening, but I'm trying to find you that video too.
I'm trying to show you something though. So yeah, whenever you're ready, we'll show you this. In the meanwhile,
okay. Well, look, you got. It's better. We don't have to do it right now.
Well, you can send it to me the next time. We can continue that next time.
Yeah,
but hey,
I'll
Oh yeah, I mean, you can save a lot of this for the debate.
Okay, because
we could talk about it.
Alabama knows. You guys know Craig. Just watch the video. There's all kinds of bloopers in that goofy video.
Sounds fake, but okay.
Sounds fake. I didn't see it with my own eyes, so it must not be real.
You know what? I haven't seen one serious person on the ISS.
Yeah,
They're all
sounds
goofy,
fake,
like,
but all right.
Oh, look at me flip! Like, what? There's not how serious people act.
You're telling me? Wait, I'm gonna tell you. Wait, Vlad. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna be
serious for 1 minute.
But hold on, Vashanti.
If I was in space on the ISS, there is no way that you would get me to settle down. I'd be.
I was just gonna say, Vlad. You honestly think, Vlad? You think?
I'd be throwing stuff in the air. I don't care.
Vlad, you think if you're weightless, Vlad, you think you're weightless and you're not gonna do a backflip? I mean, come on. What kind, are you really thinking that?
They constantly prove that they're in space. Like that's all they do up there. Is like, look at me.
Because a lot of times,
look how the microphone floats.
A lot of times there's kids watching, and they're kids love love seeing shit like that. So yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they talk to like classrooms, right?
Yeah. Most of the time they're talking to classrooms and stuff because it's educational, right? So I mean,
bunch of goofy people in a special effects set. That's your ISS.
I love you, Vlad.
Hey, you know what?
What do you mean they can't have fun? They're not allowed to have fun. Come on.
Don't worry about it.
That's all they do.
They're thousands of miles above the Earth and they're weightless. That'd be the most fun thing ever.
But how many times you have to prove to me that you're floating in space? That's all they do in those videos.
Let me ask this: you guys are still talking about space being fake, so yeah, they're gonna try to prove it. You're saying it's too much proof. Come on.
I want to see that Soyuz. Listen, I want to see video from the nose of the Soyuz capsule catching up to the high speeding ISS and docking with it, connecting in space while they're going at net break 25,000 mile hour speeds. I want to see that, a real view of real action of these two spacecraft connecting and docking with one another. Hey. You never see that, like a race car. When you watch a race cars going on a racetrack, or from the view of the camera inside the race car, and you see the action, the cars getting past, cars passing you, the movement of the track relative to you.
Vlad, there's lots of videos of them docking. There's plenty.
There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
Every time that there's a video of that, you guys say it's fake.
You just say it's fake, Vlad.
Every single time.
But you just say every video is fake, Vlad. So how do we?
Every single video.
Look at this fan. Look how it floats.
Hey, Vlad, can I read a comment from Bellacharge here first?
Hey, look, I'm on the ISS. Look at my pen.
Elon Musk sent his car to space, and you said that was fake too. Good grief.
Did that look real to you, Alabama? That footage looks real to you? of Elon Musk's cherry
Dude.
red roadster in space?
Yes.
It look real to you?
Yeah,
It's
and I'm
amazing.
kind of jealous, actually. You ever
You
ridden
wanna
in a
be on that
Tesla?
car?
They're awesome.
So
I
Vlad,
would love to own his Tesla.
Vlad, I want to read this comment. Bellacharge says now they have good reason to go back to set up a base, as they have figured out it's so much easier to launch long missions from there, as they don't have to get out of gravity. That is what they'll allow us to get to Mars. Like the idea now, and then they've also discovered using satellites that there's
Saves a lot of
water.
fuel.
There's water in the crust of Mars, or the moon rather. So they didn't
they
think
know
there was
that?
water. Well, it's easy to
How do they
detect.
know that?
Rad, you can detect things. Like, are you serious? What do you think half the devices that we use? You realize that they can fly a geodesic survey system like over the land and actually detect like the water, they can detect all the things
Over the
underneath the
land.
plane. They just drag a thing over and out of an airplane like a little torpedo that flies behind the airplane. It sends out signals and it detects back what it detects. So I mean, they can
That
pick
rover
up.
just roving around the desert right here on Earth, man. That's what
Yeah,
that rover.
but that's just you not acknowledging that technology that is used every day by companies all over the world exists. I mean, it's you just being ignorant. That's the thing.
Our brainy Beaver the believer.
Whatever. As opposed to Rad Vlad the ignorant.
No.
But anyways, hey, are you the topic is apparently here's a video of docking. Oh shit, I can't click that because it takes me out of my studio. That's so stupid. I wish it would just open another window when that happens. It's so stupid that it takes.
And
me
we
out of your studio.
definitely at some
Okay, we're
point ever get to the demarble
I
lady.
keep blocking out.
Because I've told you I don't really want you putting kids on my channel. You're not respecting me. So
Why don't you like kids on your channel?
not that I don't like kids. I don't want you putting kids on my channel because that's not my channel.
But why can't kids be on your channel? What's wrong with that?
Because YouTube doesn't like it, to be honest with you. Okay, they just don't. They don't like
kids on the channel.
They don't want kids on channels like mine. To be honest with you, I don't want kids on my channel. It really doesn't matter what they want. I've told you I don't want it. So
you don't want it, or YouTube doesn't want it.
Everybody doesn't want it. Guys, put a one in the chat if you think kids on the fucking channel is cool, or put a 2 if you think it's not cool. Because I'm willing to bet most of the people probably agree with me that it's not. Just we have a different kind of channel. If I had a channel where we were talking about fluffy bunnies and stuff like that, kids fine, whatever. But then I'd probably have to mark that it's for children, and then I'd make less money. So there you go. Like I just don't. Yeah, I see 2s already coming in. Oh, and a shit ton of helium-3 out there. Bella Charge saying, yeah, because we've discovered there's more helium-3 up there and stuff too, which is a fuel source. So, hey,
right.
Vlad, just look.
Yeah,
well, just look at this before you go. Just take one look at this for me, okay? Before you take off, okay?
All right. How long is it gonna take?
Oh, it's literally only a few seconds long. Just here, just watch.
I'm watching.
Here, watch, buddy, watch. So this is a part of the reason why we haven't put people in space yet. But as you can see, this thing has multiple windows on it. It's designed for passengers. It's made to have passengers, and it's going to one day. But right now, this kind of shit is what happens because space is difficult. Now, this is a lot nicer than going to space in that piece of shit we used to make 60 years ago. So now look what that thing. Now the problem is this is where it breaks. Is it malfunctions, right? Right?
Someday things will be brighter.
Right there. Right there. That's see what happened, Vlad? Vlad, do you see what happened here? Well, look it pivots because the co-pilot accidentally unlocked the wings before he was supposed to, and the plane broke up in the sky, and it killed the co-pilot. So, because space is bad, it's hard. Anyways, Vlad, you're not really discussing things anymore, so we'll talk later, buddy. You gonna be ready for morality and religion? Remember, I'm not debating. Hey, just remember, I'm not debating religion, Vlad. I'm debating morality and religion, right? You know, not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're gonna claim that we're moralist creatures because we don't have God. I imagine.
I have some arguments prepared.
It's all good.
Over it with my wife. Going over it this morning with my wife at the breakfast table, I said, if I had gone on before this talk, I wouldn't do very well because there's some details. And an atheist can be moral. It can be.
Okay.
But there's a line.
That's gonna be interesting.
Of course, but there's a line that they can't cross the way we can when it comes.
And we'll be glad to hear that.
And that's the thing. No, it's good. I just wanted to make sure he knew what we were going to talk about. So hey, it sounds like you're right on target, buddy. So and listen, you saw how we connect. So this is really easy. You just got to click the link. It's very similar to Fight the Flat Earths. Okay.
This was a good warm up. Yeah. Good.
And then,
okay.
The other thing is right there.
Tonight, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and by the way, if you see right on your screen there where it says present now, if you have images on your screen on the meets window on the bottom, if you're on your computer on the bottom right, it'll say present now. If you click that, you can actually display your screen and you can show images or videos that you have already ready. And you're on a massive delay, so if you show anything really naughty, I can cut the stream and save myself. So don't worry about that. But yeah, you can. There's a button there. We can play with it next time, maybe. I guess. Do you not see it there? Present now. It's bottom right on your. It's right on the meets window, right in the Chrome window.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
So if you click that, it gives you the. If you click that, try clicking it right now. See what it does. See what pops up.
Right now. Okay. All right.
See how it says your entire screen or a window. So you can pick like a YouTube window, like a Chrome window.
What should I pick? No. So if I go to a window.
If you go well, I'm gonna warn you right now.
Stuff is on YouTube.
Okay, so this is the thing. I'm going to tell you right now. If you put an entire screen, it's going to show everything that's on your screen, including your name, anything that's up there. So if you leave something on your screen, it'll display. But if you pick a window, it'll give you the option to just pick the Chrome window that has the video, for instance, you want to show, and then you could do it that way.
Okay. So if I pick.
But you know what? But I'll be honest with you.
If I pick
window,
then I can choose YouTube only.
So all I was going to add to that, yeah, you can pick the one Chrome window. But what I was going to say is, you know what? If you got videos at that point, you could just send me the link. I can play them. It displays fine over here because I can show it to you on here. And then with the stream will get a really nice, clean image of it too. So yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get her done.
I don't know if we even need really videos for this because it's more of a philosophical talk. It doesn't need really pictures like a flat earth.
I agree. I agree.
It'll probably be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
If I don't see you later tonight, I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll chat you later, man. Have a good night.
All right. Good night. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then that's his.
Oh, wait, shit. I hit end. Wait, if I disappear, Vashante, I'm coming back. Wait, you gotta hit hang up, buddy. Or I can boot him.
That's okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah. You're on TV. Oh, allowed.
Yeah, he's out. I removed him. Yeah, so that was fun.
I wanted to try sharing my screen. I don't know if I need to turn on another setting. Let me know.
No, you just move your mouse. I can see it right now, and then I can share whatever you share. I can put it on the screen here. How many people we still got in here? Let's see what the chat's saying. Did I lose my chat window, or did I lose my my stream window?
I really want you to show my screen. Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna. Just let me get in there. Yeah, let's see. Sad Vlad. Okay.
I've gotta.
Here it is. There it is. Sad Vlad. Here, I gotta expand it though, because Vlad was making me reduce it because of children. I don't know why he'd want his kid on there anyway. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Not
Anyways,
the best judgment, perhaps.
I don't know. For people who haven't seen though,
I'm an artist.
So since we were watching it, we'll just play it one more time here. So this is the accident with Spaceship Two. You've seen this, eh, Prashant? Wait, am I displaying? No, you're displaying. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
You can undisplay if you. I don't care, but if you want. Or do I hit that? No, never mind. That doesn't do shit. But yeah, you see where it pivoted, everybody?
Yeah,
right?
Art.
Right here. Pivot. Where is it? Pivot. There it is. He made a mistake. The co-pilot disengaged it like 12 seconds too early, and the plane pivoted back, and it did a lot of damage. That wasn't good. Here's an actual representation of what happened. So the idea was that the plane has a locking system on the feather. So when they're under normal operation, the plane is moving forward, but it creates these aerodynamic forces as it goes up, which want to force the wings forward, but the wings are in a lock position. So what was happening is
do it.
Wow. So this is the point. You see that now. See the aerodynamic. This is what they're trying to point out. See the aerodynamic forces on the wings. Look at the yellow. Because of the way that the plane is climbing, it's forcing those wings in a way where they want to just flip up, but they're locked, right? So this is the normal flight plan. Now, you wouldn't even need a lock after 1.2, it's saying, but they have a policy that they keep it locked till Mach 1.4. And then the idea is that they keep going up. You know, they get into a parabolic. And these things feather at the top of their apogee. essentially. And then, yeah, so they feather up, and then this is the system that slows them down on re-entry. And this is the thing, like, this is what pisses me off, to be honest with you, Vlad, if you're listening at any point here. This is kind of what pisses me off about people like you, to be honest with you, is that you state these things like, oh, we went X many years ago and we can't go back. Yeah, but, like, this thing's nicer. like, this isn't a piece of shit tin can. Like, this is literally something that can land on the runway and be launched again, and it's just totally reusable. This isn't the same thing. So trying to compare the two is just not appropriate.
Yeah.
There's no audio, sorry guys, but yeah, anyways, it's so this is what happened. They unlocked early. He unlocked it way too early at 0.9, Mach 1 point, or 0.9, and the aerodynamic forces are very much pointing forward, and then like that, and then that just ripped itself apart. I think the wings came off, and
yeah, it just sheared it right off.
oh, I just tore those things. They don't even show you like they literally, like, look what they give us. Like it must be devastating what happens, because it makes me wonder if you don't see like a body fly out of the thing or something. Like, why wouldn't they even show us? Like, not to be like, honestly, it's not like I pray. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, why wouldn't you? I don't understand. Like, it's okay. We've all seen things blow up and wreck. Like, I don't understand what's disrespectful about showing the wreck, like the actual explosion. And don't tell me that's when they lost the video telemetry. I don't believe it. Like, look at, they just get. But what they do is, look, that's where we lose it. It's like the next frame.
Is that the conspiracy theory that I hear, Brainy Beaver?
Yes, exactly. That's it. It never actually happened. You know what? They landed it somewhere in New Mexico. But yeah, so you look, actually, oh shit, look at, you see on the back of that? I've never noticed. Do you see right here? Look at this. Here, I'm gonna zoom in. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you see what they put there? Or do you not actually see that?
Oh, wow.
Look at, they put flight. Look, it's like a goose.
Right there.
It's like a fucking, or is that, no, that's no, the
different
first
stages of
yeah,
flight.
the first one is freaking, oh, what's his name?
It's like a bird.
No, it looks like a bird. I thought it was a goose, but you know what I'm realizing it is? It's Leonardo, no, that's this one. Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, Leonardo da Vinci's,
Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine, and then the Wright brothers, and then you get into, and then you get into biplanes, and then you get into like swept wing, you know, probably the early fighter jets, and then you get into like actual jets, and that's like a commercial airliner, and then you've got like landers and stuff, you know. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, actually. Oh, this is supposed to be Spaceship. Yeah, that's actually what that is supposed to be. Ah, yeah, that's what that is. Look at, it's Spaceship 1 and 2 and stuff like that. See, so like the evolution of flight,
very cool.
Essentially. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad I noticed that. I never saw that before. Yeah. That's so neat. I'm so happy I noticed that. So there you go, everybody. Facts. Now
Easter eggs.
Now we came in here originally to talk about D-Marble. So let's just jump right into that, since the title was D-Marble based. So let's just do it. Okay. So where the D-Marbs at his finest.
Sure of is that the power.
Bob the science guy says Icarus.
Icarus? Is that what we're talking? Which one of the things?
Yeah.
Was that the name of the first flying device? What are we talking about here?
Oh, Bob the science guy was
referring to what though?
I'm scrolling
Icarus.
back for context, but I
I see that. Oh, okay, but is there?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, there's the Legend of Icarus, but there's possibly the name of his flying machine. I don't know. I'm just gonna make it up.
Hey Bob, was the name of his flying machine Icarus? Is that what you're saying to us? Because I love to retain knowledge when I get it, so that would be interesting to learn. But yes, okay. So here's D-Marbs talking about Hong Kong, and I don't think that he understands much about Hong Kong or China, or just, I don't know.
Constantly keep something out in the mainstream media to keep the people distracted and terrified and worried about. The most recent thing that we have now going on is this coronavirus, and this is apparently originating out of China. Now, they have the saying.
He says apparently, like he doesn't believe it.
That's basically
right. I know.
You know, the whole.
Yeah. Okay. It's not out of China, but don't worry. You're good.
One thing to affect multiple things. It's like a multi-pronged approach. The reason that I find this suspicious at this point, and I had this thought a little bit earlier. Now, what do we see at the end of 2019, or around like the middle of 2019? We saw massive protests in China.
Okay, so this is where he first starts to know. I started to notice that he was derailing a little bit, and in that, not a bird, it's an Icarus. It's Icarus, not a bird. It is Icarus. Okay, so he's saying it's literally Icarus. That was supposed to be Icarus getting too close to the sun. Isn't that Icarus?
Well, he was.
Didn't he get his wings burnt off or something?
Yeah, that was the legend.
I know my shit.
Which is funny because you would actually get colder the higher you go, but whatever.
No. Come on. You're really close to that.
Nobody's going to fact check a Greek
Come on,
myth.
that local fucking sun. That local sun, he got way too close. The thing's got to be only like 3 miles up there.
Oh, of course.
Swear to God.
Legend of Icarus proves the local sun. I forgot.
Swear to God, he's got to only be like 3 miles up there.
Yeah, it can't be that far.
That's why it gets so hot when you look at it, you know? Fuck it, they're fun, eh?
The citizens.
I honestly never thought they'd be as much fun as they are, but here we are.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
There were like videos that were up on the internet. I've seen them on Instagram and on Facebook. It's being shadow banned. The mainstream media is absolutely.
Okay, so far he has said China. Now I get that Hong Kong is part of China. I don't want anybody in the stream in the chat saying, oh, you know, Hong Kong's part of China. Yeah, I know, I'm aware. But where I'm going with this is that he doesn't seem to understand even what's occurring there, because China wasn't having riots at all. Hong Kong was. So like, and it like he, and then he gets into talking about his conspiracy theory for the virus, and that's where it gets fun.
Silent, saying nothing about these things. The people in China, they're under this system where it's like a social crediting system. Like if you, like depending on what religious views you have, what political views you have.
That's unfortunately a little bit true. It wasn't probably supposed to include religion, but China being China, there's been talk of, I guess you get extra social, you don't get punished if you're a certain religion, but people that tattle on certain religious denominations get extra credit, you know, kind of thing. So, I mean, why would they want to know what your denomination is unless they're using it to penalize you in some way? So, I mean, there's definitely some bad systems there, and he's not wrong, but I mean, hey, China's gonna China. What do you do, right?
Have what you post on your social media.
Apparently, I read about this social. I'd already known about it, but I read a little bit about it after I watched this. And apparently, China has done this to address a problem within their own nation of people being untrustworthy. Shocker, I know. They're trying to make it so people pay for shit, because they've got literally tens of millions of people running around their country that don't pay for shit. That they'll walk away and they'll just flip you the bird as they take what they didn't pay for. And they just so many people, it's really hard to enforce for them, and so you get all these people with bad debt and they're never repaying it. Meanwhile, they just keep, you know, they paid under the table over here and they just keep on living, right? So what the social credit system does, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, it's definitely very Orwellian, but they denied 24 million train and plane tickets to people with bad debt. And of that 24 million, 15 million of them have gone in and basically started the process of repaying whatever they owe. So, you know, apparently it worked to get people that weren't paying for shit to pay for shit, because all of a sudden they went to travel home and they went, I'd like to buy a ticket, please. And they said, sorry, you can't get on this train. And the next thing you know, they're down there going, how much do I owe? Like forking it over, right? So you got to put something down. There's a win right there, right? So I guess, hold on, the only thing I'm going to add to this, they actually extended it to businesses. So if you're a business within China and you are given bad, you get a, you know, like, I don't know how they check this or enforce it or like distribute the punishments, but I guess if you're not good to consumers, like if you're, you know, getting in trouble for bad business practices to consumers, or making things out of faulty materials and then being like, fuck you know, who cares if it's made out of cheaper plastic than you paid for? It's your problem. Like if you run your business like that, you will also get a bad credit score within the business community, and it'll actually affect your ability to get loans from the government and the rate you pay for loans from banks.
Good.
That's actually not a terrible thing.
I say good.
That's actually not a terrible thing. So what they've done is they've made it so all their people have to pay their debts.
Hold them responsible.
And all of
Thank you and good night.
They said what the major implications are things like healthcare, drugs. people that are using chemicals that aren't approved, they're cutting corners and stuff. They said this has already started to heavily limit that because it affects their ability to like live after. So you can't just be a dick over here and then go and do what you want over here with all the money you made, because you can't buy a train ticket now, like, or a plane ticket, or you just can't go there, or like all kinds of stuff they cut them off from.
Yeah.
So yeah, so no, it's not a.
Also, I know that D Marble is definitely not aware of this, but we have confirmed coronavirus cases here in California.
Oh, we've got them in Canada.
But he
too.
probably thinks that's made up.
Oh yeah, it's made up. Here,
So I'm just like, all right, man. Whatever.
Well, he gets into the part where I'm gonna rip him apart is like geography, and like he's talking about something that, okay, so he's already said China's rioting, China's this, China's that. He at no point kind of addresses the difference between China and Hong Kong, and I don't believe he knows there's a difference. I think he just thinks that all of China has been rioting, and the government has done this to stop everything. And he says Hong Kong, but I'm gonna show you how he clearly doesn't know where Hong Kong is, or if he wouldn't have said what he says, because it's stupid. I'm gonna show you a map. We'll figure this out together.
I mean, you can be banned from being able to get on a train or being able to fly to go to different places and all that based on your social credit score.
Hey, hit like if you haven't hit like, everybody.
Another way that they kick things up a notch as far as the totalitarianism in China is the facial recognition software.
Yeah, I don't think we need to argue totalitarianism in China. If he's going to talk about that, then he's going to win every argument. You know.
Or, and, you know, treat them want you to go along with. And that
where I'm going to find it.
Along with. Out in the streets, in the hundreds of thousands, if not mine, massive protests taking place, like towards the end of 2019. There was videos online showing the people of China out in the streets in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, going against the police and all that. They're using lasers to...
Well, you saw the footage from Hong Kong. He's not wrong, but he was looking at Hong Kong footage, which is China, but it's Hong Kong.
I know.
Because of course, anybody who knows history or knows Hong Kong, they need to you kind of need to distinguish. Sorry, go ahead.
And I was...
You broke up a bunch there. Start that again. My apologies.
Yeah. That's important. I was saying, that happened right about the time that BlizzCon was going on, and there were people who were supporting Hong Kong's like political motions and freedom and all that stuff by protesting the Chinese involvement with Blizzard, the computer game. So.
I see. Well, but that was a little bit.
No idea the context, though. Yeah.
But that was a little bit of a big deal. Blizzard banned the one person that showed support for like Hong Kong or whatever, and meanwhile, it's an American freaking company that was banning them.
Absolutely,
and
too far.
Oh, they were really surprised when even Congress
Tencent has a huge investment.
But they were even surprised when when Congress stepped up and said we have a problem with this when an American company is helping censor people like in other countries. And so all of a sudden, I mean, that they didn't end up doing anything, but I think them just saying something in Congress was I was really good to see the Republicans step up for something like that. Which they should. I mean,
their
again, old MO, right? But it was nice to see.
The issue for people was like, okay, you have political issues going on in whatever country, which is fine that, stuff happens. But as soon as your money starts dictating our practices, that's where we draw the line. And that's where a lot of people were getting pissed over
exactly.
here. So
I don't have the chat window up on here. I'm just realizing the chat.
But I'm sure D Marble has no idea about the nuance of that at all.
The hell's the chat overlay? Chat. Where is it? Chat? Nope. Chat widget. Frickin' whole stream. This window's not at a chat window. Everybody's like, I want to see my words up there.
I mean, it's been up there periodically.
Well, whenever I went to Colorbox, it was up there because Colorbox is in a different setup. So it's just because recently I've been doing some stuff. I've been messing around with you're not gonna be able to hear me for a second, but I think I can show it. Where is it here? I've been trying to work on there it is. I've been trying to work on some new retro themed, screen rooms, kind of thing. So that's why it's all a little messed up right now. But anyways, so he doesn't seem to distinguish the difference, and we're going to keep letting him be stupid. So
to take down the surveillance drones, they were using lasers to
that happened.
Shine the lasers into the facial recognition cameras and all that to kind of disable them, taking down those towers that the cameras are connected to. Things like that were going on in China, and that was going on for months and months. I personally...
When did this video come out, Chris? It was just a couple days ago, 4.
At this point, that this new...
Here we go. Everybody get ready. Okay? Rub your hands together.
All right.
Get them excited.
Coronavirus
Excellent.
originates
Yeah, exactly.
in China shortly after those massive protests are taking place, wherein the Chinese people have taken to the streets, going head to head with the police, gas masks, riot gear, and all that, and even using medieval weapons. There's some videos of
medieval weapons,
like, catapults and whatnot.
Medieval weapons.
First of all, I should have taken the time to look for a Hong Kong catapult, for the record, because I didn't, and I really regret it, because, I mean, I want to know what he's talking about right now, because I immediately was picturing, like, a Monty Python skit or some bullshit. I was like...
me too.
somebody standing on the thing going, "Launch me! Go!"
Oh, my God.
He might be right. It just sounded funny.
Yeah, coming from him.
Well, I mean, it's Hong Kong. Honestly, it might even be a racist comment he made. I don't know if you really want to go that far. But, like, he probably, like, is he picturing people in pointy hats? Or is he, like, working in the rice fields? What does he think of when he thinks of China? Like, is that where, how far are we going here?
Honestly.
Oh, my God. Did you see that sort of Family Guy skit where they were talking about...
I question his knowledge.
It's the Family Guy skit where they had all the Japanese people sitting at the table, and they're like, "There's a Chinese among us. Everybody keep your eyes peeled." And it pans along all these business-suited people, and the person's just, like, wearing this agrarian outfit with the pointy hat, and he's like, "Oh, when we find that Chinese person, he's in trouble, huh?" And it was it was so funny. Oh, my God.
Wow.
And that's what D. Marbler thinks that Chinese people are like.
Virus comes out of China shortly after those protests, or even during those protests. They're probably still taking place right now. So it just seems like
Hong Kong catapult. That's a good idea, Craven Mordick.
He doesn't even know.
Hong Kong catapult sounds like a drink. I think you're onto something, buddy. The Hong Kong catapult? That's gonna be the new drink in bars. I'm telling you.
Hong Kong catapult.
You get a prairie fire and then
a drink or a grown-up fun time position.
Does anybody out there in the chat world, or you as well, Vishanti, do you guys do prairie fires? Is that a drink that exists in other parts of the world? You probably have a different name for it. It's what is it?
What's in it?
Vodka. I want to say vodka with Tabasco sauce. Like they.
Oh yeah, we have those. I just can't.
It's probably
remember
called like a
freaking
fireball or an eyeball or who knows. But anyways, yeah, they vodka and then they put a bunch of Tabasco sauce in. It sinks to the bottom.
Yeah.
It just burns like your world's on fire. Yeah. But man, you get sauced quick on that. Won't take long. Mm-hmm. Well, that extra spice, I don't know. It probably just makes your heart run real fast or something. I don't know.
That might have been manufactured to kind of throw off the people of China. You know, like just to kind of quell the issues as far as the protests and all that, or as a form of retaliation from their tyrannical government. It seems that way to me at this point. And then the whole aspect of the world is kind of waking up to overall corruption from the governments and all that. When we're seeing things like...
So wait, I wasn't actually paying enough attention. Did he already say about the government releasing the virus?
He said it was in response.
As far as the protests
to quell the
protests. A form of retaliation from their tyrannical government.
Okay, so this was the kind of cream on the crop right there, because Wuhan is in the middle of the fucking country, and I don't know about you.
Yep.
But if I was going to release a virus to control where the riots were, D-Marble in Hong Kong, the place that shares a lot of the same freedoms and stuff that we do, and really doesn't like the fact that it's probably part of China these days. So when they changed a rule that meant they could extradite people from Hong Kong to the mainland, everybody saw it as China's way of being able to basically extradite anybody they want to the mainland so they can go to the mainland judicial system and not the Hong Kong judicial system. At which point you're basically getting a kangaroo court with a judge who's owned by the government, and they're just going to slam the gavel and throw you in a prison for the rest of your life. Probably put you in one of those hard work camps or something that they claim they don't have that we know they have because satellites exist. So, you know, they try to say they don't know. It's just a bunch of people that love being chained together working. They do it for fun. I mean, we've tried to ask them to stop. So, yeah, so there's that. So the
they
thing
just
is,
won't stop working.
I know, right? God, those people. We've asked them to take a break, but man, they just love it. It's like walking along with a limp. It's
they
like
just work to the bone.
It's like it's like that scene on Big Daddy, remember? Where it's like how are they taking care of you here? And fucking Ben Stiller's in the back. She's like, it's they take good care of us. That's funny. Mr. Remember that Mr. lady? I think I killed her. So this is Wuhan. Wuhan is a province within China. D Marble. We're gonna lesson him something here. Wuhan is a province within the country of China. Wuhan is also about as far from fucking Hong Kong as you could get. I mean, not really, that would be up here, but you get what I'm saying. Like, if you were going to try to control Hong Kong, you don't release a virus here. That seems dumb. You'd release it in Hong Kong, and then you'd shut the border on them and say, nope, nobody's coming over. That's exactly what you'd do, right? Let's face it.
Dude, well, I mean, if you're a conspiracy theorist, it's part of your existence to think that a government is so, conspiratorial or evil or sinister that they're going to release a virus, but they're also so incompetent that they're going to do it hundreds of miles away. For the same reason, NASA's trying to hide the truth of the flat Earth, but yet they're so terrible that they leave in Photoshop errors.
Jesus, hundreds. I think that's thousands. Two. Let's see. That's about okay. So two. Let's see. We got like 2, 4, 6, 8. That's like 800 fucking miles away, or kilometers. So 600. 550, 500 miles, something like that. That's not exactly close at all. Even like it's so far. But yeah, I'm not that you were claiming it was close. You know what I mean. But they have isolated Hong Kong from the mainland, so they've done the opposite of what I would get happening if I was in charge of that fucking shit show. Because like, I mean, they would have dumped it in the middle of Hong Kong, and away it would have went. They would have shut this border, and they would have said, "Oh God, you guys are full of sickness. You're not coming over." Then you would have had something to talk about. Because if that happened, I would get into the argument that maybe China developed that to try to control them, right? But right now, you're just pitching theories based on absolutely no fact whatsoever. Because then if you go to this, have you guys seen this beautiful thing?
Well, I mean, that's their whole MO.
Have you seen this?
That's their whole entire MO is ad hoc explanations for everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Rad. I mean, basically, Rad's MO is what can't be true because I don't want to believe in it.
Pretty much.
I mean, he can't go to the deepest parts of the ocean, but yet he believes they exist. And then all he says, "Why can't I go to space?" It's like, you don't bitch about all the other things you can't do. Why does this matter?
I can't put my foot in space, so it's not real.
It's just ridiculous. It's like, man, there were so many people. This is the thing. He lives in a world where you can get on an airplane and you can fly somewhere. And you do it like we do it like it's nobody's business, like day in and day out. Like, I took a flight somewhere. We've got planes that have double deckers and shit. But there was a time that wasn't that long ago that was not something that just anybody could do. It costs a lot of money, and you weren't doing it unless you were one of the elites, and had a lot of that money. But then as planes got bigger, in fact, some of the original planes, when I was doing some research for some other videos I've done in the past, I did discover that apparently some of the original airplane designs that were some of the most successful airplanes that were built, basically Boeing copied a lot of designs off of a British company initially. That they didn't copy them, but they let's face it, they did what anybody smart would do, is they took a lot of hints from the way it looked, right? And they went,
inspiration.
Well, hey, listen, they did this with their wings. I wonder what that would do with our plane in the wind tunnel. And so, but what happened is the British company that developed these aircraft, they couldn't make it profitable because the planes were too small. So they were having troubles actually getting profitability into the aircraft because they just couldn't stuff enough people in. So plane tickets were expensive, people didn't fly. But then the American company, and this is where Boeing's claim to success kind of came in early. Boeing took some of these designs that were really too small, and they made the wings a little bigger, and what they did is they extended the fuselages on a lot of them and made them a lot bigger. Like they lengthened them and added plenty of seats. So like a plane that only fit 4 people all of a sudden went to fitting 12 people. And well, when they did that, they increased its capacity by 3 times. Well, the tickets got 3 times cheaper right then and there. So, yeah.
I was going to make a really terrible historical joke. But
you could do it.
I should
as long as it's not super racist or something.
It's because it's historical that it would be racist, so I'm definitely not going to say it.
You won't see me showing up in blackface, I can promise you that.
Well, America historically has been very good at cramming as many people as they can into as small of a transportation vehicle as possible to maximize their profits.
Sorry, say that again? They do what?
Historically, America has been known for cramming as many people as possible into as small a transportation as they can in order to maximize their profits.
Well, but America was also the first at maximizing profits on some of these things. I mean, like for instance, right now, like you look at air travel in the world. Well, like the thing that when Boeing tried to hit Bombardier with a 300% tariff, the reason that was devastating is, okay, so you can't sell planes to the American market without paying a 300% tariff, which is absolutely absurd. They never would have got away with that if it wasn't Trump in power. But of course, he was happy to help American business kind of smite another business that was stepping on their toes a bit. And so that's how that went down. It's okay. It ended really poorly for them because Airbus is now selling those fuckers like hotcakes. So, anyways, good.
Yeah.
There you go, Boeing. You can eat dog shit. So that's going to be one of the most successful aircraft ever built. The A220?
The chat is saying Richard Whitcomb always said that Boeing had a tradition of NIH, meaning not invented here.
Well, yeah, and even then, so what happened with Boeing and the Bombardier is Boeing's been trying to build that plane for like decades now, and they've been, not been able to build that beautiful of an aircraft. And then apparently Bombardier released the C series, which is now known as the A220, Airbus A220, and it was everything that Boeing wanted to make and wasn't able to. And they were apparently absolutely blasted by the fact that Bombardier, a Canadian company, had gone ahead and done this. And don't get me wrong, Bombardier almost went totally tits up doing it. They sell trains and like maglevs. They're a huge company for selling maglevs around the world. They're not a small company. And they almost went straight tits up trying to make this plane because it cost them like $4 billion more than they estimated. But they were at a point where they were so far into it that they were, getting out was almost impossible. The plane was designed, it was built, like it was there. But at the same time, if they didn't get stimulus from the government, they were going to go under. So the Canadian government Canadian and the Quebec government bought portions of Bombardier and the C series aircraft, basically giving them stimulus injection, which allowed them to stay upright as a company. Now, America did that to Fords, and we didn't tariff cars, not that we have a competing car company, but you get what I mean. Like America has been propping up companies for years. That's really no different. Like we're going to let a multi-billion-dollar company that employs thousands of people just go tits up for no reason. So we propped it up, but then Boeing used that as an argument to say that we were heavily subsidized by the government. But think about a 300% tariff. So Vishanti, what they're saying there is they're saying that they think that we are selling the aircrafts in America for 33% of what they cost. That is not
what?
That's what they're saying. They're saying that
that's not how math works.
They're saying that we are selling the aircrafts. Oh shit. Press space bar. Yeah, that's what they're saying by doing a 300% tariff. They're saying that those aircraft are being unfairly subsidized to the tune of 300%, so that they have to get a 300% markup, or else they're not in line with what an American aircraft should cost. And that's just horse shit. They're made in Canada, not in fucking Mexico. Like, they're paying full engineer wages to these people. Right. These planes, you couldn't even build the aircraft for that goddamn cost. So, I mean, it was literally horse shit. But you know what? It ended up really poorly, like I said, for them, because Airbus rubbed their hands together and ended up really the winner of that entire thing. Bombardier got fucked. Boeing got fucked. you know, we kept 49% of the aircraft. You know, we're going to make a ton of money. We're going to make billions and billions of dollars off it. But really, we should have had full ownership of the aircraft we built. But now we had to give it to Airbus. So we got fucked. Boeing got fucked. Airbus came out looking like a candy. Like, they came out just laughing, rubbing their hands together, laughing. And then the Max series, the Max problem, oh, fuck. They're just right now, they're clicking their heels.
Yep.
They're now the number one selling aircraft company in the world now is Airbus. They surpassed Boeing now because Boeing, people aren't buying Boeings all of a sudden.
Man, I could just, they're
Shocker.
doing the Scrooge McDuck, like, dive into the gold pile.
Shit, I just read a report about the new 777X, and it was a pilot, a very good pilot, saying, I would never want to fly one of those. And he said the reason is that plane has been developed under the same system of corner cutting that the Max was developed under.
Yep.
So, you know, he said what, not only when, and the other day when they did a stress test in September, they didn't want to tell everybody how bad it was, but normally they pass the stress test where they flex the fuselage at the same time as they bend the wings. And I guess it failed within 1% of, so apparently they said that's close enough that they'll just have to reinforce some things and they'll probably not even have to redo the test. But still, at 1% left in the test, the plane fractured in half, which has never happened. So like, they're still cutting corners. Anyways, so yeah,
no, it's fine. We'll just tighten this one part.
So if you've never seen this map, we're at 2 hours, and we are starting to lose people because I think we're starting to ramble a little bit. There's all kinds of shit I could talk about, but you know, we had Vlad on. That was fun. I'm just trying to look if there's anything. Here, let's do one more fun one. How about before we shut her down? Okay, how's that? First of all, have you seen this? This is fucking awesome.
Sounds good to me.
Watch this. This is amazing.
What is that?
This is them building this douche over here, which we'll have to cover on another stream, who's panic mongering people because he's an idiot. This is let me just get this window in the orientation. Different windows all screwing me up here because I was moving between window types because I got that other one that I was showing you before I switch off it, I guess. This, if you haven't seen, is a thing you can go to. Anybody who wants to see it, it's the Wuhan coronavirus tracking system. Global cases by the John Hopkins CSSE. So if you search John Hopkins interactive coronavirus map, you can get this. And it's a beautiful little map where you can, you really hone in on where we're all going to die from. I'm kidding. It's not that bad. I want to remind everybody of one fact here. And if Bob the Science Guy is still out there, he's going to know what I'm talking about. There has been 100 people that have died, 106 deaths, okay, in China from this outbreak, okay, this very, very large outbreak, okay. I want to remind everybody that in America alone, 2,500 people have already died of the flu this year, or last year. I mean, in the last year. In the last year. 2,500 people died of the flu alone. The flu. So I'm not trying to tell people hey, don't worry about the fire over there. You should worry about the fire in your own backyard. Not to panic people, but really when we talk, if it evolves, sure. If it does lots of things, sure, whatever. The reality is this is a cold. A coronavirus is a cold. It's just a cold that is a little bit hardier than the typical cold. So yes, it has the potential to cause fatality, but really, you guys are living in a world that you're surrounded by diseases that are killing more people than this disease is. And yet, you've got people like Douchebag City here telling people that they need to arm their fucking guns and lock their doors and stab people that cough on them because motherfucker's gonna get me sick. So, I'll get back to this guy. I'm coming back for him because he just apparently he's been podcasting for a long time and he just joined the world of YouTube. So we're not done with him yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. But he says a lot of stupid things in 30 minutes that I could probably turn into its own video, which is likely what I'm going to do.
With a logo like that, who could have guessed?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, just to finish that comment, basically, I would be more concerned about the problems within your own nation, my nation too, flu's happen here, with regards to the flu and things like that, because really this there's a case at Phoenix. One confirmed case in Phoenix. We got 2 up here in Toronto. Yeah, 2 in Toronto. Where are they? They're not even showing up now. Where are they? 2 in Toronto. There we go. 2 cases in Toronto. Him and his wife. He infected his wife when he came home. So you know, you look at this and you think, okay, well, what if we populated this bitch with flu, with influenza? What would it look like? What do you think America and Canada would look like if we've populated it with something that is arguably more deadly? See? So this is an example of like...
I literally track the yearly flu and cold outbreaks in our area, like weather.com or whatever. They have cold and flu reports for your area.
Yeah.
So you can follow it live based on people reporting.
It's really...
And it's always way more aggressive than this.
Okay, so this woman, here, we're going to cover a couple more stupid things before we end it here, okay? So you're going to love this, Vishanti. We're gonna rapid track these. We're not going to spend as much... We'll talk about them, but we're not going to spend as much time talking. These are going to be great. Okay, because I had to have something to talk about, and you know...
Stupid.
You know what's funny is that I talk enough that I always get myself way too many things to actually go over in the time that I have because I just fucking talk, which is great, I guess. But it's funny because I always overplan because I'm like, I need things to talk about. Really, I just need to talk. I'm just kidding. But this woman believes that she can only catch this at certain times of the day. Okay, everybody, it's the Lord speaking to her, I guess. Thank you to my masters and creator. He gets green flashing in the sky. Now, I don't know. Can any of the people out there tell me in the chats? Does anybody want to comment and tell me what they think is happening here? Because I know. Oh, you can't see the bottom very well here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more. Yeah, what's going on here?
Must be aliens.
It's clearly aliens. So
there's no other explanation.
So now I thought this was post-production probably that this was added, to be honest with you. Somebody left a comment on the video that actually I was like, oh, that's actually a really good point. This is the what is it, contrast device on the camera, trying to the exposure device trying to find where to be. That's what it is. It's hunting. It's going bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim. Because it's going shit, it's too bright, shit, it's too dim, shit, it's too bright, dim, shit, bright, dim, bright. That's what the thing, your camera is trying to find. First of all, the fact that it's doing that means that she's probably causing damage, because looking at the sun with your camera is definitely the way to destroy your fucking camera. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's definitely the first thing. Oh, and another thing I learned, everybody, just so everybody knows, if you're ever using an actual camera, well, even a digital camera, DSLR, at a wedding or anything that has laser lights, be careful. Those laser lights, if they hit your lens, will literally destroy the sensor in there. Photographers have problems all the time from weddings because one of the laser lights will come by and strike across their camera, and then they go to develop all the photos, and every photo has a line in it. Because it burns a line. Burns a line in the sensor.
What did JM Truth use for his salt flat experiment? Was it like just a really high-powered beam, or was it a laser?
You're talking about in the dark? Like when they did it in the dark, obviously?
Yeah, when he did that.
They were using
the salt
they
flat
were
thing.
using like an LED beam, like one of those. I think it's one of those ones you like.
Okay.
You know those ones people have been mounting on the front of their trucks and stuff that can like light the forest up like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Like they just, you know, you have a switch or you flip it on and it's like, boom! You know, like everything
yeah, it's like
is
floodlights.
Oh my God, I've seen people, they put one on the top and one on the bottom and they flip a switch and it's like, it's just like the world becomes daylight in front of them. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. You can see everything.
And I always end up driving directly in front of them.
Of course. You know what? Those people, I just pull over and let them in front of me. And if they've been being a douchebag, I flip my high beams on because, you know, we don't have guns in Canada. So, you know,
nice.
He's not going to be able to, he's going to have to throw a knife pretty hard. Well, we have guns. I'm several feet from multiple guns. That's not where I'm going with it. We typically aren't carrying them because it's super illegal. Did we just walking around with a gun?
you don't have that.
If I have a shotgun,
carry gun culture.
if I have a shotgun, if I walk down the street with a gun, I'd better have a really good explanation for why I have a gun walking down the street, because I'll probably be arrested for something.
Yep.
Probably for some sort of like...
As opposed to, say, Tennessee, where you can walk around with a gun on your hip and people are like, how you doing today?
If I had the gun in the case, it'd be fine. But if I was just walking down the street with like a 20 gauge cocked, like no bullets in it, whatever, but still just like cracked, walking down the road with a gun, the fucking police would be there immediately. Like immediately they would be there to get me. Like, what are you doing walking around with a gun right now?
if I were to do that and the cops were to catch me, which they wouldn't, but if they did, I would just look at them and be like, "The moon's haunted." And
I believe I believe American police
moon's
would.
haunted.
Don't get me wrong. I do not believe you could walk down the road with a gun out in America and not have the police at least come up and ask you some questions. Even in an open carry place, they might be like,
not a rifle or a shotgun.
"What do you mean? Like they don't bug you with?"
You can open carry a revolver or a handgun, but you can't open carry like a shotgun.
Oh, that's fair. Well, but in Texas they can open carry like automatics, so it depends on where you are.
Oh yeah, well, Texas, flawless.
I just don't know. Somebody tell me. Is anybody out? I'd have to ask Team, actually. He'd be the person to ask. But if there's anybody out there that knows, like, if you were walking down, I know they're allowed to. I get the dynamic of open carry. But if you were walking down the road and you had just an M16 around your neck and you were just walking down the road with it, like, would the police at least ask you any questions? Like, I mean, that's fine if you have every right to carry it, but like, would they stop and be like,
yeah,
where are you heading, bud? You know, like what you up to? You know, like at the very least, that's how I would hope it goes down.
Dude,
the one they caught backing out of his driveway.
Well, yeah, but especially after that guy that attacked the people in the Walmart. After that stuff, yeah, they're like, "Hey, where are you going with that?"
Well, did you see the one where the woman got a baddie? It was just in this last year, where she got an email. It was something about her teaching black people or something like that.
Mark Beiser, who lives in Texas, says he can walk around all day with a shotgun, AR-15, or whatever. Yeah, that sounds about right for Texas.
That does sound right for Texas. Hey, listen, I don't give a shit. I mean, well, I do. I don't live in Texas, so you can do what you want. That's what I mean. But I don't know. It's a little weird to me, just because, like, don't get me wrong, guns are not a foreign thing. I have several guns that are just only feet away from me, locked in a cabinet. You know, I grew up with guns. We can buy handguns in Canada. We have to have a special license. You know, we can own handguns. We can take them to the range. They're kind of useless because you're really not allowed to do anything with them other than range shooting. And in fact, that's where our laws get really strict. With a handgun, it's a restricted weapon. So you can carry it, but not like on your person.
Yeah.
Like when you leave, like let's say I owned a handgun as a restricted weapon. I would have to go pull it out of its locked case. I believe I have to trigger lock it and then lock it in a case. And then so it has to be double locked essentially. And then in my vehicle, I'm not allowed to go anywhere but to the range. I have to, like, if you stop for gas, you'd probably be fine because you're like in possession of the vehicle still. But like if you stop at like the pub to have a beer with your buddy and they find out that there's a handgun in your vehicle, it doesn't matter how locked up it is or anything. You will be charged with not having the handgun in the appropriate, like not properly storing, or basically I think you get charged with carrying a handgun because you're supposed to go right to the range and then right back from the range. And you're supposed to, you even call them. There's just like a line you call and you tell them that you're leaving from wherever you live and you're driving to the range at this location and back, and that you're doing it at 2 p.m. approximately.
Yeah.
So they even have an idea that you are on that road with a gun in your vehicle. And that's only handguns. I don't have to call anybody for my shotguns. I want to take that shotgun out to the bushes and shoot at targets in the trees, or blow branches off things, or shoot at pumpkins or whatever. I can do it all day long. I can go down to Walmart, buy my ammunition, drive out there and just pot away all day long in public land. But I just can't do lots of that. Handguns is totally different. You're just totally different ballgame.
Super chat sticker from 204.
I saw that 204. You're being very generous to me, buddy. I appreciate it because he still has a job and I don't. We've worked together, him and I, like in real life. So he's doing pretty good these days. He's got his journeyman license, I believe. He's got 2 kids and beautiful wife, and so life's, I think, going pretty good for him. If you guys are into mobile games at all, I think it's Boom Beach he plays a lot of. But just, yeah, and then drive the most direct route from A to B. 204 says, yeah, exactly. You got to be right there and back. If you're off route, then like, why are you off route? You're not doing what you're supposed to do. But yeah, if you guys like Boom Beach or any sort of mobile gaming, he has a lot of that on his channel. So go check him out. Let's dig through these real quick. I say that all the time, but let's just do it here. So this guy, and now he actually got me. I'm gonna read this to you because he got me. Comments are turned off. Aw, you suck. Hold on, maybe it's in here.
Moon's haunted.
This is why he deleted it. I love it. It's gonna be, oh good, is it there? Oh, good. It is there. Okay, good. I've got the comment, everybody. Okay. Here, I'm going to hit print screen so I've saved that. We're going to mute that because he loves his copyright music. Okay, so here, this person believes, okay, let's see. Water is the electrolyte. It gives electromagnetic light energy vertical to the inner side of the dome. Then the dome works like curved mirror and send this electromagnetic image vertical back from every place of it. A focus spot on the electromagnetic light energy has created phenomenon that happens in the ionosphere. The result is the moon, the mirrored image of our flat world. So he is claiming that the moon is just it's a plasma ball, I guess. And it's just reflecting our own image of our flat Earth back at us, and then he's gonna show.
It's a water illusion reflecting our flat Earth.
Okay, but this gets it's
water
beautiful.
electromagnetism.
Yes, well, hey, Russian vids said water is highly magnetic. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Remember that? Does everybody remember Russian vids saying water's highly magnetic? And then it took him 3 days to come back and say, I meant conductive, Beaver. Yeah, fuck you, you did. You had lots of time to fix it on the stream. He had so much, there was crickets afterwards. Anybody who would have went, conductive. What happened is he had to look it up, and he's like, I swear to God, it's magnetic. And he's like, oh, conductive. That's right, it was conductive. So then he comes back 3 days later.
Isn't water diamagnetic?
Well, I'm sure he was trying to say conductive, but it doesn't matter. He said it's well, no, but at the same time, he can say that he meant conductive, but the bottom line is that wouldn't have helped his point at the time. He was trying to claim that the tides work because the water is highly magnetic. Well, highly conductive isn't going to do shit for you anyways. So you, of course, meant highly magnetic because that's what your point meant. But then when I started ripping him apart in Twitter, he finally came back 3 days later when I meant conductive. Fuck right off, you meant conductive, you lying sack.
Sure you did.
He just started getting eaten apart on Twitter, and then he... So anyways, there, look at it. He draws a map for us. He maps this. This is fantastic. You have no idea. And I'm going to read my comments, and that's why he turned off his comments. I'm sure of it. He does get me. The first comment, he gets me, and then I rebut him with something, though. Okay? So there's music playing. But we're not going to play it because, here, we got a different music. We can... Maybe not. There we go. That's terrible, though. There, Australia. That's Australia, Vishanti.
That's Australia?
Yep,
Okay.
That's Australia there. Okay, we got Australia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we got Australia. Okay, we're going to fast forward.
Wow.
Asia, there's Asia. There's Asia. Can remember, the white parts are water, everybody. The dark parts are land. That's our flat Earth reflecting back. I'm curious as to why our flat Earth is a semicircle today, though. That's so weird. Why do we have a semicircle Earth today?
Europe?
America?
Europe is really tiny, and Africa's way huge.
Wait till, no, it's the other one.
What?
It's the other one I'm going to get him on, actually.
And he says that's Brazil?
Maybe he didn't turn off the comments the other one then. That'll be fine. They're there. Here, yeah, apparently that's Brazil. Like Brasilia. Hey, where was it? There, Brazil. Brasilia. That's America. That's America there. Yeah, Brasilia. Yeah, Brazil's bigger than America, everybody. Than the Americas.
It's not South America. It's not South America. It's just all of Brazil.
Well, yeah, but it's not even fucking attached to North America. How did it get there? It went down here? Like, so, okay, so this is this one. No, we gotta get...
really skinny.
This is the one, okay? So watch this. Watch this beauty. I wonder if he turned off comments. No, he didn't. Good, I love it. Hey, where is it? Come on, we can fast forward his shit here. Here, I'm gonna put it on playback speed faster here. 1.5, here we go. That's a little better. North Pole. Okay, so there's the North Pole, right? The Atlantic Ocean is here. See? Do you see this, Vishanti? Did I lose you?
Oh,
no, you're
yes,
there. Okay.
It's so clear.
Well, he's reversed these images so you can see. But anyways, so this star. Remember, everybody, this is not the Atlantic Ocean. This star is the North Pole. Okay, it's the North Pole.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, here, I'll put the music in.
Sure it is.
Okay. So then we have North America right here. Okay, this is North America, And this is what he showed before, so he's staying legitimate here, okay? He's got it going on, okay? So you've got North America and South America, but I thought Brazil was over here. Wasn't Brazil over here?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought Brazil was over here. So, but I mean, I don't know about you, but South America's in, in Brazil. Okay. Oh, but okay, whatever. Sure. Okay, whatever. Okay, so he rotates it for us. That's good. Okay, good. He puts the Pacific Ocean in. So there's the Pacific Ocean. Good. Okay. So yeah. So now the first thing I noticed is that the Pacific Ocean's on the wrong fucking side of North America, and he did get me here because then I said this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, but it's a mirror. See, this is where he did get me. I said, well, okay, but color me interested if I wonder why the Pacific Ocean's on the wrong side of North America. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to make fun of you. And then he responded with, and I will give him this. He said, this focused image is mirrored, nothing wrong. And I said, good call, still stupid, but good point. Another question then, why is the Pacific Ocean smaller by far than the Atlantic? This is not the case. Seems something went all wonky on the way up and made it all funhouse mirror on you. Can you explain that? And why does the reflection have a crater on it? Odd. Isn't that crater in the water? Because there's craters out in the water.
Wow.
So yeah.
Now, don't you be going and talking logic to him now.
So wait. So if this is South America, and this is North America, and this is, then how did this get to be Brasilia? Because he had to be talking about Brazil.
I don't.
That's just wow. That's just. This baby right here is a fucking crater.
Okay.
So that's a gigantic crater right there. So like, apparently the Atlantic Ocean has a crater in it. So I'd love to find that. That'd be interesting. Yep. So yeah.
And it's easily 5 times bigger than the Pacific suddenly. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have that. I actually thought that was the one he turned the comments off on. That would have made it way more fun. But no, apparently not. So yeah, there you go. There you have it, everybody. The moon is plasma. This guy's got all kinds of stuff. You can see examples of, the sun setting, because that's a Fleur special, right? Let's just watch, yep, the sun is shrinking into perspective. By the way, this is apparently the sun shrinking. I want to show you. Look at, watch. This is the sun shrinking.
Okay.
Congratulations, you filmed on a cloud when there's clouds on the horizon. Bravo.
Oh my god. Speaking of clouds and people being total geniuses, if you really want some just high IQ entertainment, watch tonight's debate that happened between MC Toon and Red Pill.
Oh shit, I streamed right over that, didn't I? Fuck, that was... Or did it happen before I streamed? It must happen before I streamed, right? Or did I stream over top of that?
They had been going for about an hour and a half or so before you started.
Wait, who was debating?
But a lot of us kind of quit that and came over here.
Oh, well, sorry about that. To him. Sorry, MC Toon and who?
Red Pill Philosophy.
Oh, thought that was tomorrow.
Red Pill, the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, but I thought that was tomorrow. I didn't realize that was tonight. I thought it was tomorrow. Shit, I would have loved to have seen that debate. Oh, he's still on.
Tonight.
He's still on right now. Oh, it's the after show.
Yeah,
that's
go back
poopy.
and watch it because you're gonna want to.
I am sorry that I streamed over the same period of time as that. To be honest with you, I looked at all the streams that were happening.
That's okay. It had been going for about an hour or so, and
okay, you know what I mean, though. I try to avoid. I try to avoid things like that.
That one and came over here.
I appreciate it, but you know what I mean. I try to avoid those things because Red Pill. That's a fun debate to watch. He's an idiot. So I try not to do that to people too. And then we can all kind of coexist.
It was you'll see it, but he was so dishonest. It was literally like watching Pinocchio and his like his nose just growing out of the screen.
Was he shooting from his bed? He likes to shoot a lot of his videos from his bed before he wakes up in the morning. Hi, just Mr. Mustache here, talking from my bed. I think you've seen it. He's just laying in bed, filming himself.
Being a high IQ skeptic with 87 tabs open. Gross.
Fuck, he's got nothing on me. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Like, anyways, yeah, no, I'll have to check that out. But anyways, okay, so
just watch it.
56 people. I left. I couldn't take Red Pill Philosophy. Yeah, that's fair. I can get behind you. So I appreciate that. Maybe I gave you guys a nice blissful escape after you've heard enough of that douchebag. So fair.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Vishanti, other than, okay, so you have, before we take off from here, and if anybody's out there that hasn't hit the like button, please hit the like. Vishanti, you have that whole, so you're starting a new channel, it's launching soon. Do you want to pitch it right now? Say what you can about it?
Yes. Yeah, we are starting a channel this weekend. Actually, it's called NASA Black Site Area 69. And anyone is welcome to pop into our Discord. Just, hit me up for a link, or Cypher Zero, Digital Demonic Davros, Nearthin Terpson is also along for the ride. So we are going to be taking down some stupid, and we're putting out a newspaper called the National Indoctrinator. We just did an article on that guy. So
awesome.
Yeah, check us out. It's going to be a barrel of laughs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're funny
you
guys.
might learn some Illuminati
guys and
secrets.
gals.
You never know.
No, it's been fun. I know that they've been trying to get me over there a little bit, and of course, unfortunately, it's not that I don't want to. It's just they're always messaging me at like fucking 1 a.m, like, you should come in here. I'm like, oh, dude, you have no idea. Like, I'm propping an eye open with a toothpick in here, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's because like all but 2 or 3 of us, they live in Australia and New Zealand, so they're completely on the other side of the planet.
And I felt bad because Terry Davies even had asked me if I could be. Sorry, sometimes you cut out, and I think you've stopped, so my apologies.
Yeah, sorry. We have some really good guests lined up. We're gonna be interviewing some science folks. We're gonna interview a pilot. We're gonna be interviewing lots of very cool and surprising guests. So stay tuned for this and more.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then what else was I gonna say? I know I've lost it. Doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So I was gonna say Terry Davies had been asking me to maybe come on their channel on a more regular basis, but I mean, I said no as a regular appearance, just because I said, listen, I'll come whenever I can, but I mean, I'm like, you guys are like streaming at like 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm already getting shit from my wife for not being in bed, like, so I'm like, I can't like commit to a weekly thing with you guys because I'm gonna get so much shit, it's crazy. Which is fair, because when I, like this morning, I woke up at 8:20, and that is the moment my kid is catching his bus. So I already knew. I looked at the clock and went, fuck. Because that means that she's already, like, put him in a snowsuit, taken him to the school bus, like, to drop him off at the bus stop and everything. And I was, like, still laying in bed, which, I mean, there's probably some wives out there going, that son of a bitch. I know exactly what that's like. So I can get behind that. It's not a good look for me, for my wife, it's the sense of like she's out there getting the kids ready for morning, and I'm sleeping off the 3 a.m. morning. So it's for the safety of my marriage, I had to turn him down for that. But no, they're a fun group of guys. If you guys ever get a chance to go see Terry Davies, them, and of course these the new what's the channel called again? Sorry. It's Area 69, right?
NASA Black Site Area 69.
You guys are dirty.
Yeah.
You bad people, you. Yeah, feel free to pimp the channel, pimp your Discord, pimp the channel on the live chat. Just blast it, give her. And then as for me, I'm always working on something. The flat earthers are so boring. I find it hard to wrap. I mean, because all their arguments are so bled out and with YouTube trying to control the stupid, it does actually really affect us, because it is kind of hard to comb through the internet and find just the cream of the crop, and it's out there, it's all around us. It's just that they're doing a pretty good job at suppressing the stupidest of the stupid, so it's harder to find now. One of the tricks is, if you're ever searching, everybody out there, if you want to know how we do it, if you search Flat Earth, you're going to get a whole bunch of like CNBC and CNN and all kinds of stuff. But the trick is to go over to filters and hit filter it by time, like by like today, or like just by time. And you'll see like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, like you'll just see all the Flat Earth posts will come up in order as they've been coming in. So it bypasses their little override that they've put in when you search Flat Earth, for whatever reason. So they haven't done away with that ability. So if you're ever looking for Flat Earth goodness, that's kind of the way to do it.
That's part of why I just that's why I sat there and told Vlad, I was like, you don't have an original thought, you don't have an original argument, you're just parroting the same crap everyone else is.
We know what Vlad, he actually said to me he can't read. I don't know if because I told him he can't read, because I said, are you able to read? Like, what's your problem? You're not listening to what I've typed to you. You're just, and then he's like, yeah, I can't read, blah, blah, blah. But maybe he was serious. Maybe he can't read. I would believe it. I mean, no offense, Vlad, if you're watching, but I mean, you're not. You know, you've even said in one of the videos I produced that you just, I don't like reading any of this stuff. Maybe you can't read. Of course, nobody wants to admit that. So,
yeah, I mean, if he has like issues with that, then let us know. Then we'll try to communicate in a way that's easier for him to latch onto.
Well, and the thing is, so the problem is, as soon as I read that, I thought, okay, well, if he can't read, if that is actually true, if he can't, maybe he was just being facetious, right? But if he can't read, then of course he doesn't. All he has is videos. He literally just has his eyes to work with. He can't read anything. He can't read things and then turn it into like images in his head. He can't like discern how something functions, because let's face it, you can only get so much by watching something. You know, when you read, it's usually the combination of the two. You can like read something and then you can like watch a thing and be like, oh, I see how they work. Just like, you know, you can read an instruction manual, but there's nothing better than handing the kid the toy afterwards and being like, see how it says to do that?
Especially in his debate with Craig, he was like asking repeatedly for people to stop and show him like images or like visual representations. So I think that he probably internalizes information visually rather than like.
You want to see how easy it was to search for? Like, it is crazy. Like, he was, when I was talking to him earlier today, he was talking about thing. But anyways, so privacy check. What the fuck is going on? Google's being funny. Anyways, he was looking for
all your passwords.
Yeah, when he was doing the Blue Origin thing with me earlier, he's like, "Why can't I call them?" He's like, "I searched that. I found they're out of Texas, and I searched and I can't find a phone number." I said, first of all, why do you think you're important enough to be able to phone Blue Origin? I said, second of all, I'm like, where did you search? So I went like this. Watch this. Look at this. It's gonna be blue. I'm gonna show you here. I'm just gonna bring it up. I just Blue Origin. Okay, now watch this. Hangdown TV?
Huh.
Now watch. It's the first thing you click on. Like, you can just find it. Where is it here? It was like one of the first things for now I won't be able to fucking do it like that. But it was like right here. Like,
it's like if you type in whatever you want into Google and just hit the.
Well, that's what I typed. No, that's what I typed. So I just put Blue Origin, Kent, Washington. Kent, Washington, because on their website it showed their headquarters. Boom, like that. That's what I did. Boom, like it. Phone number. I gave it to him 3 times. So then he goes, "What's the number? Give me the number." It's like, fuck, man. I emailed it to you. I sent it to you on Discord. I sent it to you in comments. He couldn't find this number. It took me 2 minutes. All I did is I went to their website, like this, okay? Because of course this is called researching, Vlad. I went to their website and I went, like I said, our mission, or I think I said careers. And it was like, oh, there you go. Look at Kent, Washington. Blue Origin's company headquarters located just 20 minutes south of Seattle. So then I literally just went like this. I didn't even have to write it. I went like this, and I just went back to Google, and I typed in like that. I just went Blue Origin, Kent, Washington, and I hit enter, and this is what you get. And I was like, boom, phone number right there. And you can even street view it. Like, here's their frickin' headquarters. Ta-da, headquarters. They, on the address published right on the fucking page. Like, I mean, they make claims like, you guys are naive. You can't even find this company. Like, okay. Sure. I can't find the company. Sure, I guess I can't find it. All right.
Whatever you say, Vlad.
Like, it's just, and it's like, man, you research like a flat earther. I mean, it just shows you. He clearly didn't even really look. He just does one Google search and goes, Anyways, we're still talking. I'll talk forever.
Well, I can't do it, so it can't be done.
Exactly. So, and that's what I said to him. Well, you can't go to the deepest parts of the ocean, but you don't claim they don't exist. Oh, yeah, I can dip my toes in the ocean. It's not the same fucking thing. You can breathe the air in the earth. There's sitting in space, Anyways. Okay, we're going to talk forever. Any last things? I know you already introduced the channel, all that shit. So just before we go, any last words you want to spit out? People you want to thank, anything?
I love the chat because we had a comment from Fatal Gravity that says, I have neither the time nor the crayons to explain anything to Vlad.
That is true. That's fine. I haven't been reading Mippet. The actual debate is tomorrow, just chat crap today. Oh, okay, so so I wasn't wrong. The debate is tomorrow. Today was just chatting and shooting the shit, I guess. So it's fairly similar to what I did with Vlad today. Just kind of felt him out, had some fun with him. I'm glad I held him down there, though, because he was trying to move on. I'm like, fuck right off.
Yeah.
Stop trying to move on Russian vids.
Yeah.
It's pissing me off. Because, I mean, I actually opened up the meets window and was getting ready to boot him if he tried to not answer that, because I was just going to boot him out. Because I was like, fuck, you're going to answer a question.
That's something that I told the chat, is that I'm really glad you held him to the fire, because we don't do that often enough. We either let them waffle on, or they just get to railroad you, or change the subject. Like, no, stop and answer the question.
Well, and he said, fine, kick me. And I said, I said, fine, kick me. I said, I will kick you. And then he finally let me, he answered, or he at least listened to me, query the question to him, because he did realize, I think, that I was probably going to boot him. He was going to end that was going to end there, which, I mean, I don't know why he gives a shit, but they do,
Well, that's why you're really going to love this, discussion between MC Toon and Red Pill, because MC Toon has the patience of a saint, and Red Pill tried to immediately dodge questions. He says, oh, I took a measurement, and MC Toon says, okay, did you account for all the variables? And there's this pause, and he's like, oh no, but Aristotle didn't do it, so I don't have to do it. And it's like, I didn't bring up Aristotle. Why are we talking about this?
So, and it's like when I was talking to Vlad, and he said something about or somebody else said something. I was talking to a flat earth, and they said something about they knew the world was flat in Greek times, or no, he said something about a Greek. Oh, we were talking about, it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter. He was talking about I said something about triangles, and he said a Euclidean triangle or whatever, and he was making a remark about the difference between geodesic surveying and
yeah.
And so I said to him, I said, oh, okay. I said, we'll just put everything back to the time of the Greeks. I said, would you like me to treat the next disease you have with leeches? I said, or we can do a nice chicken bone dance next time too. I said, at what point in history would you like us to stop the fucking timer? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, I hate that argument. Like, well, they used to know how. Oh, give me a fucking break. They used to rub shit in their wounds and go, it's good for it. Put the E. coli right in there. It'll eat the bacteria. Good bacteria versus bad bacteria. I mean, come on. Okay, Vishanti, when electricity came out, which was what, in the last 100 or so years, really regular in homes, a couple 100 years, 150, they sold plug-in covers to cover the plug-ins because people thought their fucking electricity would leak onto the floor if they didn't plug the fucking plugs.
Yep.
Like, that was the original purpose of those, everybody, wasn't to protect your children. It was to protect the electricity from leaking out of your walls and pouring onto your floor.
Well, also,
like, that's
you
the
go back
shit
to
they thought.
like World War II, people would literally look at you and go, oh, you have asthma? Here, smoke a cigarette about it. And then, like, 200 years before that, if you got a cold or you were sick or you were depressed or didn't feel good, they'd be like, oh, you don't feel good. Here, let me bleed you for a few hours.
Well, and how many diseases were chalked up to chronic wasting, or what did they call them? They call it consumption. Oh, they were taken by consumption. Consumption was basically... Consumption a lot of times ended up being tuberculosis.
That was they tuberculosis.
It was, but they gave consumption... They often said consumption when they didn't know what they were dying of. So, like, consumption in a lot of cases was tuberculosis, but in other cases it might have been cancer and all kinds of things that they just didn't know shit about. So, like, we can, like, same thing. Like, okay, so do you want me to search for tumors next time you have, the doctor thinks you have cancer? We can search for tumors the same way they used to, too. We can just feel around and see if we can find any. I don't feel any lumps. Like, we won't put you in an MRI. We won't use any of the technologies that we've developed because the Greeks didn't fucking use it, and they knew what tumors were. So there's no need to advance our knowledge on things whatsoever. It's such a garbage argument. It's just, that's why I have no hair. That's what this patch happened.
Yeah, no.
Ripped it right out. So anyways, we're talking forever again. Out. And I'm good at that. So anyways, everybody say goodbye to me and Vishanti. Vishanti, we're going to just leave in rapid fashion before we start talking again. We're going to just go.
All right.
Okay? So... have a good night, Vishanti. Thank you for coming. Stick around for a minute. We'll chat before you take off. And
thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming. It's always good to have a second person, just to chat with. So, I've been enjoying learning the craft on my own and being able to, like, hold my own on a stream if there's nobody around or nobody available, because I want to be able to do that. But it's always nice to have people to come in and chat with, because it just makes my life a lot easier. And I was able to go for a pee, and you unfortunately got left behind with Vlad. That was nice.
Thanks.
Anyways, okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night. Screaming Beaver, we're out. Bye-bye.
Oh, damn.
Thank you very much, John Rapp, for the donation. Back to Screaming Beaver.